is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vanderkrant in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vanderkrant in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono. He's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to turns. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't committed, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get some good run. Dodd's just absolutely thinking, but it's a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome into the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars series for round 8 of season 2 here this evening for the split 2 and split 1 action coming your way. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, shortly to be joined by Stephen Sinkovic, who has just had to step out for a couple of moments to get something done. But we come into Sebring tonight, a tough circuit, a long circuit, is all of course famous for the Sebring 12-hour. A circuit which has hosted many races here in SRW across multiple categories. Of course, the Supercars, the Super Formula Lights, the GR86s, as well as the IMSA Series and the GTDs as well. It's a track that will offer up a multitude of challenges to the drivers tonight. Qualifying is currently underway. Let's check out how the times have been going for these drivers. Why has that just broken on me? We'll get that fixed up for you, and then we'll get the times on the board for you as well. But big championship implications coming into tonight, of course, as well. Both title races coming down to the absolute wire at this point of the season. And realistically, consistency has been the key. It has been the key throughout the whole season to unlocking the door to this championship, as it has in seasons past. We come in tonight for the split 2 side of things, where Daniel Clutterbuck is currently leading the way by 33 points over his teammate, Michael Quash. Kurt Normanson is then 14 points back off the both of them. So a strong performance tonight could swing the title race in any of their favours. And it's going to be one which could, it's a circuit that can create controversy. It's one that can, as I said, challenge the drivers and really open it up for them too. And we've had some spectacular performances this season across the board, even in the AMS class. Di Feldman, what a rise up the rankings she's had. Jeff Arnold as well in that class too. So there have been glimpses for some drivers out there where they are, having to, just get themselves prepared for these final couple of rounds. Now, of course, we've got one round to go after tonight next week at Donington Park, which will host a merry of challenges for the drivers as well in the supercar. So I am so looking forward to it. It's going to be an absolute cracker once again next week when we head out there to Donington. But the focus tonight is, of course, on this circuit here at Sebring. And, well, it's going to be one that, as I said, is going to throw up some challenges to these drivers here this evening. Hopefully that's now worked for me. It has indeed. So drivers are out there at the moment, though. They are setting their qualifying times. Scotty Weston currently leads the way here in qualifying with a 2:05.971 as the fastest time in the session. He's the only person into the 5s at the moment. Michael Quash is the top-seeded driver on track at the moment with a 2:06.397 is his fastest time here in qualifying. Jeff Arnold amongst the big boys in the AMS, looking more and more likely that he should have been put into that class this season, but it's a bit late now to make the change. And that could lead him to winning that title at the end of the season if he can have another strong performance here tonight. He does lead the championship by 116 points over Di Feldman, so it is looking almost out of reach for her to challenge him for that title at this stage. Time will tell. Time will tell how the championship is going to play out as well. And if you're joining us for the first time or you've been here for a little while too, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, and the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on SRW TV. A massive final round coming your way next week for the weekly series. It all starts Sunday night, the final round of the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship, right here at Sebring for the Enduro round, the top 10 shootout to come your way in that race too. Round 15 of season 1 of that series. It's going back to the old format next season of 9 rounds across one season with a couple of breaks every few weeks to match, to give space for Scops on the Sunday night. So it's going to give opportunity for drivers to go racing in the Scops series, but also match the calendar of the Scops and the Pro Series too, to allow drivers to get a race practice in the week prior to those events happening as well. Quashi's out there though, so is Clutters, the top two in the championship for TMX. So they're both going to be really putting pressure on each other. Could it be Papaya Rules tonight and next week at Donington Park? Well, we'll have to wait and see on that front. Reg James is out there too, P5. Good to see a return to the field here for Reg James. He was away last week at Sonoma. Good to see him back out there tonight for Sebring. And as I said, big test for him. He's got his teammates out there in Tommy DeWitt in the AM class, as well as John Van Ree in the rookie class too. So plenty of opportunity for drivers to sink their teeth into some fantastic racing tonight. In terms of overtaking opportunities, if we bring up the track map here for a second, the red line, of course, the thick red line where you see a little bunch of cars parked up on the track map there, that is the start-finish straight. Turn 1 can be a positive overtaking opportunity. You can try and get moves done up at turn 2, 3, 4, but it's a bit more difficult. Realistically, your next major braking zone down at turn 7, that's the next major passing opportunity, and then up towards turn 10 as well at the next hard braking zone, that's a good passing opportunity. And then if you can get your run through Lamont Corner onto the back straight, you can set something up for the final corner as well. But the big test tonight, as John Benry pulls up, I was about to mention it, the curb of death. That's going to be a tried and true area of drivers' will and determination to get through. They're going to have to be cautious, and they're going to have to try and protect themselves through that area, because it is very, very easy to get the car loose and lose the car through there at that point of the race circuit. Tonight, though, we're in for a normal round, 40 minutes of racing here for Split 2 and then Split 1 just after as well. As I said, Sunday's variant of this race will be an enduro. So it'll be the same amount of time for racing, but for one series opposed to two on Sunday night as well. But 3 minutes left in qualifying. Western has set the pace early, and Quash is not yet able to match that pace just yet. The 206.397 is still his quickest time on the board, with plenty of time to find for him in the TMX Mustang here. So could possibly get some opportunities for himself. I mean, Weston, he's had some strong pace. He's proven tonight he's got some strong pace, but he's a little bit out of the championship to properly challenge the top two in this title race. More or less, it is coming down to Daniel Clutterbuck, Michael Quash, and Kurt Nommensen. Good old Nom Nom is off the pace just a little bit here tonight, so he'll have some work to do to try and chase down Michael Quash and Daniel Clutterbuck. Bartish, though, has gone up to P2 with a 206.182 on his last effort. Cracking lap time from him to get that job done, which is great to see from the 95 Camaro. We know he's had good pace all season. We know that Sinker's very, very positive and big on Dan. I think Dan's shown some good pace, and I mentioned this before. I think the little 1%ers is what he struggles with most. Keeping the car absolutely perfect. To see it there once again here in qualifying. It's those little mistakes that can cost you, and it's what's cost him this season. So hopefully he can continue to push on in this car, get more seat time, and just keep himself in the championship battle going into Season 3. That's what he could hope for next season. I'm just noticing as well, Marty Hughes having a minor blink there at that stage. So with 1 minute left in qualifying, drivers will be able to finish their lap times as long as they start them before the end of the 15 minutes. Reg James and John Van Rey are just entering now the final corner. So they're going to be a couple of the first drivers to start their final laps here in qualifying. The WKMP SimSports Mustangs working together. The lime green and red entries for them. Of course, both drivers taking part in the vets as well. So they've got a lot of Supercars experience under their belts. They've just got to try and find some more pace. And you can see James here leading Van Rey around. He is trying to get him up to speed. Give him some tow. Give him some slipstream. Help pull him along higher up the order, because at the moment P20 Well, he's going to have some work to do in the race to try and get his way up there. Michael Quash, though, is on for a mega run down towards the line as he comes down the back straight towards the final corner here. He's got a purple sector in the second. It's all green up to sector 6 where he's just gone orange. And now for the final sector, what is the lap time going to be for Michael Quash? And has it been a clean one? Final run to the line for Michael Quash here in qualifying. Can he go pole? He does. Straight to the top for Michael Quash. On the last lap time there, a 2:05.954, 200ths of a second faster than Scott Weston on that last lap. That is an absolutely wicked lap time there from Clutters. Weston will be kicking himself, hoping that he was out on circuit then just to try and better the lap time if he could. Brad Grant asking, is this lead using the Connection black flag? I'm not 100% sure if they've said it in the session, Brad, or not. So I can't answer that one for you without Sinker being here, to be honest with you. So if they did, then some drivers are definitely going to be sent back to pit lane throughout the race if their connection issues are a problem. But yeah, I'm unsure if they do or not. So James leading Van Ree down towards the line. It is 4 green sectors in the first 6 for Van Ree. Could this lap time be any better for him? It looks like it's going to on the clock. Can it get him up towards possibly the top 15 to put him P2 in his class? Here in qualifying, James pulls it over. Van Ree crosses the line. What is the lap time for him? It's a 2:10.218. It's not much better. It is a better lap time, but it doesn't get him up the order, unfortunately. Brad Wall, though, he has set the timing tower alight here in the first sector. I don't know if the time's going to count, and if he crossed the line prior to the 15 minutes being up or not. The clock would say he did because he's at 48 seconds on his lap time, so that would hint to me that he's already done his final lap, and this one will not count for him. Here in qualifying, will be counted in the chat. Let's go, Nom Nom. Well, Kurt's going to have to try and fight forward tonight here, Will. He set a good time at the end of qualifying there, a 2:06.78 from Nom Nom. He is in the top 5 on the grid, but he's got to beat Quash and Clutterbuck on the road tonight. And realistically, to make his job even easier next week when we head out to Donington, he probably needs a win, and he probably needs them both off the podium just to gain a solid amount of points. Even better for him if they were to end up at the back of the field and getting as little amount of points as possible. That would work out as such a beneficiary for him, or it would benefit him immensely, I should say, as Wall slides it out. And that is the end of qualifying. So, everyone has set their lap times here at Sebring. The Rolex clock has struck on the 15 minutes. And the grid is about to get set up for us here. Starting grid will be as follows. Michael Quash, Sinker, you got in right at the right time then as the grid just gave up. Michael Quash will start pole position alongside Scott Weston on the front row. Dan Bartish, Daniel Clutterbuck on the second. Kurt Normanson will then make up the top 5 with Jeff Arnold in pole position for the rookie class in P6. Marty Hughes, Reg James, Brad Hayes and Brett Taylor then makes up our top 10 with Ron Allen and Tommy DeWitt for the top 12. As we move back to Brad Wall, Craig Healy for the top 14. Pecky and Feldman will then line up ahead of Mazzaroli and Baxter with Mays and Van Ree at the back end of the field. We have got Russell Uren out there and Martin Lipsky and Brendan Sopar. We'll see if Lipsky and Sopar join the grid, but tough night on the road for these drivers tonight, Sinker. I was just mentioning the fact that if Nommensen wants to maximise the points he can get tonight over his championship rivals in the TMX cars, he probably needs to win the race and have them finish outside the top 3.
Ooh, it's going to be feisty. It's going to be feisty. Mate, remind me, where are we tonight?
We're at Sebring, Sinker, and you'll have to change your microphone as well to let you know of that. So
don't tell me that. I just finished shooting the race selection track for Australian Open World Nationals, and if I had the wrong mic, hopefully I was loud enough and it looked all right. But yeah, what a bugger. And I'll tell you, can I give you a hint? I'll give you a hint. Well, maybe in a little while. Let's get the race rocking.
Well, we're just waiting for the lights to come up for these drivers. I mean, you can tell me off air, Seeker, that'll be fine. You tell me off air, so.
We did a last-minute replacement.
Oh.
With Phillip Island with the Bend International.
Ah, I see. Well, we'll talk about it in a minute, Singer, because the lights are up. So we'll get into this race and then we'll have a bit of a discussion because it's going to be a long one. 40 minutes of Sebring are underway as Michael Crush and Scott Weston get us going in the scramble down towards turn one. Marty Hughes is still blinking here on the grid as they run down to one. And as he does that, Sinker, we did have the question in the chat before, but I was not able to answer it. Now that leagues can apply the iRacing black flag for connection issues, have we got that set up in the session so it can give drivers with poor ping black flags or send them back to pit lane?
I can't confirm or deny that because I think it's only been active in the last patch. We would have had to do some sort of testing and looking at it before we do it, as we usually do. But I'm sure if Barb's had time to look at it, he would have activated it. But he also told the guys in the pre-race briefing about it, so I didn't hear that as I usually do. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay then, and I have linked you as well to my camera on Video Ninja for you too, so you can get the view up for yourself if you haven't already. Very good. Very good.
Yeah. Just hooking up the second screen for the people out there, and this is looking sensational out there on track.
They are looking, I mean, we've been nice and tidy off this race start, and I find Sebring, if it's not chaotic lap one, you often go green the whole distance because you get a very early telling of how, I don't want to say impatient, but how feisty the field is and how hungry they are to make up positions and how confident they are with the track as well. As I say that, Alan Mazzaroli has been off track, but he's just rejoined the circuit now. Yeah, and I think because we've been so clean off this race start now, I don't know if we're going to see a safety car tonight. I think possibly the only way we see it happening is if the curb of death claims a victim and they blow the engine and end up back on the track.
Yeah, I think that would be about it as well. What's going on here?
So as we run up towards the start-finish line, lap one will come to an end. As Brad Hayes has just had a moment at the final corner, so maybe we spoke too soon because he's dropped down the order and that car is very, very poorly at the moment. Luckily for him, he is right at the pit entry so he can pull this car in, get it fixed up. But what has happened down at the final corner here for Brad Hayes as we ride on board? Just washed it way wide, could not get pulled up and straight into the wall, self-inflicted, and such a,
nothing worse.
It's such a tough corner. I mean, we've seen the most ferocious of incidents down there. I recall back to a GR86 race we called together at this circuit, Sinker, where Steph Piccoli backed it into the wall there, and the rear of the car went up on the suspension arms, like the suspension broke, and the rear tyres were holding it up off the ground thanks to the suspension arms just sitting there, and she couldn't move. Like, it is such a tough track. Brad asking any comments on how the V8's got the bend so far. Apparently it's all been positive about the international circuit, Brad. The full circuit, I would have to say you'll probably never see a major league do supercars there unless they do like a proper enduro, like
it's like 5Ks long.
It's 7Ks long. It is the second longest permanent race circuit in the world, only behind the Nürburgring and because Le Mans is technically a street circuit, so only behind the Nürburgring. Like it's a 3-minute lap time, I think, in a GT3 car. Like, it's long.
It'd be great for a enduro event, that's for sure.
I think because of how flowing the international circuit is, and the fact that supercars are actually going to run an endurance event at the Bend this year, I think the regular international is good enough for an endurance event. You could maybe run the long circuit for like a 24-hour or a 12-hour race, possibly, but I think for supercars, like, because it's so much switchback stuff, then your arms are going to get very tired very quickly on that long circuit.
The iRacing patch is doing something really weird if you want to spectate these days. So if you're going through the spectate, people will see that they can only enter as a spotter. So you've got to go back to the original screen now to get in there as a spectator.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Sinker, the whole of last season, pretty much, except for I think the first 2 weeks, I was able to join through the league as a spectator.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me do it, unfortunately.
Oh, weird.
Ultimate Chop, no racing for me tonight. Oh,
Yeah.
Chop, what's going on, mate? Don't tell me you busted a PC or something.
No, yeah, it's funny you say that. His PC decided that it didn't want to play ball.
There you go.
Today, so that's why. So you hit the nail on the head there, Sinker, with that one.
There you go. Scotty Weston continuing some massive form at the moment. 207, 120 last lap. Being chased down by TMX. The TMX boys have both lifted at the same time this round, and they're just driving off their head at the moment.
Well, the qualifying time from Weston held up until the final lap from Michael Quash. It was a 2:05.974, I believe, as car 4 has been given a drive-through penalty for contact on lap 1. That is going the way of Alan Mazzaroli. Quashi beat it by 200. 200s was 200s. Yeah, 200ths of a second, literally on his final run, and Weston was not out there to beat it. He was in pit lane, happy with his lap time. So that was how tight it was in qualifying between Scott Weston and Michael Quash. It was like literally even just the slightest dab of brake or the slightest dab of throttle would have made up the difference in that lap time for Weston on that effort, and it made the difference for Quashy on his. What have you done?
I've just entered the track for the split ones, and the practice session is wet.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yep.
It's wet.
Yep. Cowie gave them pre-warning that split 1 was going to have some weather on hand for us, apparently. So we'll see how that pans out. I think, Singer, I mentioned it in the pre-race sort of little briefing there, as Marty Hughes has had an off-track further back. Oh, Tommy DeWitt's been involved too. And I have to wonder, has Hughes's blinking caused this possibly, or has there been other parts to play for this incident? So here's DeWitt coming through. Oh, it was a poor rejoin from Ron Allen. It was a very, very poor rejoin from Ron Allen. And Tommy DeWitt has unfortunately collected him on the way through. And now they've both had to try and get their cars going once again. I
thought for a moment there, I thought it was Billy Mole because he's driving the same blue.
Yeah, they got a very, aside from the number on the roof, the car is pretty much identical, I believe.
Yeah, is this track bad in the wet? I haven't raced this track in the wet, but this track is a dusty track, so...
Stay away. Stay away from wet at Sebring.
It would just amplify that.
So DeWitt is currently waiting for a tow from race control. And I have seen that Greg Barber is pulling out in the safety car. So
we've got a safety car.
We haven't had one for a couple of weeks, Sinker.
No.
Not since, I think, VIR was the last time we saw the safety car appear, and that was in Split 1. Split 2 has been very, very long since we've had a safety car, so I wouldn't be surprised now. We're probably a bit early for pit stops, but maybe someone, if you maybe Kurt Nommensen or your Brad Wall, you just sneak into... Yeah, Jeff Arnold needs to hurry up, because he's actually holding them up at this point. That is not safe race pace, Jeff. You need to... I know people want to be cautious under safety car, but you haven't actually got the train.
Weston's gone in.
Has he got? He has too. So that's one of the reasons why Nommensen... Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Nommensen will be getting annoyed, because he's been held up by a lower class car as one of the cars ahead of him have come into pit lane. He wanted to be able to push on, because now... Because he's not closing the gap, Sinker. He's
yeah, it's just been called in. One of the drivers is just called in.
Yep. And I'm not too surprised, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's it's supposed to be safe race pace, and to me, this is not safe race pace. This is a bit too slow for my particular liking. I was going to mention Jeff as well, Sinker. I don't know if you've seen the points gap between him and Di Feldman and the fact that he was the only AM inside the top 10. Quite possibly misclassed this season was Jeff, but we live and we learn and we move on. And we see, we see how he does. I mean, he's got a 116-point gap over Di Feldman at the moment in the AM class, so a strong, consistent run this week and next week would make him the champion. It would mean he would be in, the rookie class, make him an AM next season. But he's already proven this season he can race amongst the AMs. He could be a sneaky challenger for that AM title next season, Sinker, here on Tuesday.
Definitely. My PC's having conniptions at the moment. Trying to get the second screen up for you at the moment, but safety car is already going to be into this lap.
Yeah. Not too surprised, to be honest with you. I mean, no, we don't have to do any waiver rounds. Everyone was in their line astern. I don't mind the strategy play from Weston. He's given up track position, but now he's going to take a much lighter fuel load on the next stop. The problem is now he's deep in the field. That's the real issue for him. And if Quashi and Clutters start to run their sorts of laps that they do, this is going to be tough for Weston. Has he given away a win? Well, we've got 30 minutes to the end. If there's another safety car, he could possibly save enough to get home.
I think he might be all right to get on the way home. Safety car's going in as we speak. We go. Second camera is live.
Very good. I await its presence in Video Ninja.
Manual error, could not start video. Something's going on.
Have you turned on your virtual camera?
Yeah.
Okay. Weird. Technology at its finest. Chop asking, are we going to see the bend on the calendar next season? Well, I mean, you and I spoke about this, Sinker, that some other leagues, which are running officials, like I would assume Tuesday will next season again, are looking to replace Navarra with the bend. So whether SRW does that or not, I'm not sure. That will be up to Cowie and Barbs. Yeah, I mean,
there's a good chance.
Navarra's a good track as we get back underway to go green flag racing again. So Quashi leads us away. I mean, I don't see the issue in replacing Navarra with the bend. I mean, it's a new track. Obviously, Rob Baxter has just been put in the wall on the restart. Could we see a second safety car off the back of that? That's big damage on the Reality Cruisers entry of Rob Baxter. How in the hell has this happened off the restart here? Oh, it looks self-inflicted. Oh, it is. Oh, remember last week, Sinker, at Sonoma, drivers running it a bit too close to the wall, ended up clipping the tie barrier. It was the same thing for Rob Baxter off the back of that one there. A real shame for Rob.
Oh, well, they're the brakes, as they say.
It was a wall that stopped him, actually, not the brakes.
Yeah. Yahoo! Yahoo! Sharing is caring, and I am caring for you. Oldshot did the some GR86 testing at some of the tracks, and they went good there. There will be, I think, look, I'll be highly surprised if each one of our series doesn't go for the bend, because there's so many varieties that suit all type of cars. You know, you got your Grand Prix version. There's the short versions for the 86s. There's everything there to choose from. You could bloody run a whole league out of it if you wanted to. Yeah,
if you wanted to go 7 weeks, just run a different layout every single week.
Yeah, 100%.
I think for the 86s, you run the slightly short. They think it's technically called the West layout. It's the shortened version of the International. Just cuts off the really long right hander. So I reckon that'd be the go for the 86s.
Just called something in.
Yeah, he did. I'm not sure what. Although he has just run it wide, so he might be wanting Jeff Arnold to let him past. I'm not sure, because he wants to try and obviously take advantage of this safety car. He needs to try and battle with Reg James, Daniel Clutterbuck, and Michael Quash up ahead of him. And I think
safety car restart is under review.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there might have been something in there as well that might have been breached. So we'll certainly find out.
So, well, I suppose all will be answered very, very soon.
Second cam is on Miss Feldman at the moment. She is having a great little fight with Bradley Mays again.
Yeah, they've been getting into some good tussles this season. I think for Dye.
Oh, here goes Marty Hughes on the inside. Is he taking him? He has. He's opened it up. Looks like Dye might lose 3 places there. Oh, she has. Scotty Weston's pushed his way through as well.
So what I think between the both of them this season, so what I think has sort of hindered Brad more against Dye is what used to hinder Dye, and it's just inconsistency. I think making mistakes or getting caught up in incidents, that's really cost him. He's had some good pace, but he hasn't had consistency this season. A bit like Dan Bartish in the AMS class, where Dye has somehow just found ultra consistency this season. She's had some relatively good pace. It's been more or less her internet that's kind of taken her out of contention a couple of times.
She's been going well all season.
Yeah.
It's just those internet spikes that she's had pretty much cost her really good points. She'd be right up there at the moment for a title fight.
I think back to, I think it was Sonoma last week. She was taken out of contention in race 2, where she was booted out because of her internet. We'd probably be saying a whole different story right now for the championship order between her and Jeff Arnold if that didn't happen. So not that she would have gained too many points back, but she definitely lost more than what she would have had if she'd actually finished where she was.
There's been 3 races she's been hindered with so far this season. So 3 out of 9, she has lost critical points due to the internet. So it's a big one. It's a lot. So at the moment, Kwashi is leading the field, followed by Daniel Clutterbuck. So teammates getting 1 and 2 again. Reg James having a cracker of an event tonight so far. 3rd, Jeff Arnold 4th, Kurt Normanson 5th, Bradley Wall 6th, Brett Taylor 7th, Dan Bartush 8th, Mark Peck 9th, and Brad Mays for 10th.
So Normanson on that last lap setting the fastest lap of the race, Sinker, a 2:07.02. So Normanson's really started to turn on the jets, putting the pressure on Arnold here. I mean, relatively speaking, if you're in Jeff's shoes, I know pride's a big thing. Was that Reg James pulling off the side of the road? It was. What has happened here to Reg James?
After just mentioning his name up the pointy end,
I have to wonder if maybe I'm not sure if he runs VR or not, but if he's had maybe a screen or a VR issue. I know a couple of drivers have been definitely getting some bad stuttering issues with VR and stuff like that. I'm not sure what's happened to Reg there, but that's really dropped him down the field now. As Normanson finally gets it past Arnold. Arnold's not happy with him, but to be honest with you, I don't think Normanson cares. He wasn't happy that he was stuck behind a lower class car for the first half of the race when he should have just let him go. It's not his battle. I mean,
exactly.
They're
done well. He did that.
Well.
He did that really well last week as well.
Yeah. And now Normanson can push on. 3.2 seconds is the gap to his championship contenders of Daniel Clutterbuck and Michael Quash up the road from him. And with 22 minutes left in this race, there is plenty of time for Normanson to chase them down and challenge them for the race lead. As we said, he probably needs a victory tonight. He definitely needs to beat both Quashi and Clutterbuck just to gain points on them as Maisie's run it wide down at the final corner.
He's missed his brake marker and he's gone all the way out wide, so he's lost about 4 spots. But the boys are... This battle pack, this second lot of battle pack is spectacular. Oh, Bartush is into the pits.
He is, so, I mean, not too surprised. One of the earlier pit stoppers here. The asterisk right now is over Scott Weston, whether he can save fuel to get home from this point. I mean, can he save enough? He probably came in arguably 5 minutes too early. But it's only about 2 laps, so...
Just to give you a heads up, Race Control has just finished their review of the restart. Oh, no.
Oh, no, Normanson.
Nom's gone wide. Nom, yum, yum.
Anyway.
055's been monitored for blinking, but the entire field breached the restart procedure under safety car. So I'm not sure what they breached, but they all breached it somehow.
I would say they probably...
There'll be no further action.
Oh, what would it have been?
I don't know. They might have started before the safety car was in, maybe. Oh, he's gone again.
Reg James is around. Quite possibly, yeah. We could actually probably look back to see when the safety car went into pit lane and then kind of cross-check that when the leader goes green. So let's have a look here. So, Barb's...
055, drive through, avoidable contact.
Barb's... Oh, that's why. That's everyone just fanned out. So everyone fanned out. The safety car then comes into pit lane. And then Michael Quash goes green. So what happens with the whole field? Restart zone. Okay, drive-through penalty to car 132 for an unsafe rejoin. That is going the way of Ron Allen. We mentioned it before with the contact with Tommy DeWitt that caused the safety car sinker.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We might have to go have a chat to Race Control post-race to see what everyone did wrong, because I'm actually quite intrigued now. Ooh.
132.
Yeah, that's, as I said, Ron Allen, who's just come through for that one.
As well. Oh, I just forgot you had me on the second cam then. It's sitting on most exciting at the moment by the look of it, because it just keeps on tripping its biscuits.
So Craig Healy in a battle with Di Feldman at the moment. Mr. Barber, thank you very much. What did the whole field do wrong on the restart?
I thought that one deserves some explanation. The leader accelerated to 180 kilometres an hour entering the back straight. And then slowed back down to safety car speed, and the entire field did exactly the same thing and followed him.
Well then.
Nice. so
nobody gained any advantage. If someone had have not accelerated to 180 k's an hour, lots of people might have got a penalty.
Yeah. So instead of going 80, he went 180.
Yeah, I think he just mistook the back straight for the start-finish straight and went early. And then realised and backed up again. And everyone followed him. So, yeah, there's no point penalising an entire field.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, that's fair enough. Everyone followed. All the sheep followed and did the same thing. So, there you go.
So there was no advantage to anyone. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you, Barbs. Mr. Lawford, yes. Quash, guessed it around turn 16, and then everyone followed.
It's amazing.
Well, lucky for Quash that everyone followed.
Yeah, if they didn't,
he could have got himself a penalty.
Exactly. That could have cost him the race lead. So.
Yeah. But those two boys at the front are doing exceptionally well. They're both gone into pits at the same time too. I might leave the second camera on them then, because there we've got Bartouche and Scotty Weston, who went early. See where they come out. Weston went early.
So Weston's coming down the straight now. He's going to get past both of them.
There and a half.
Yeah, that's paid off. But you got to remember, though, he underfueled the car compared to them because he couldn't put as much in. So he's done an 11-second stop. And I'm waiting to see that. So the lap 8 stopper of Dan Bartich did 18 seconds. So he still needs 7 seconds, 2.3 litres per second. It's roughly 17 or 18 litres that he needs to get home. So he'll probably need another pit stop here. He needs to hope that they get caught up in traffic.
Yeah,
he needs
Those
to hope.
guys went on lap 4.
Yeah.
Why did Weston go in at lap 4?
As a safety car. I think he expected more people to come in, and it was a free pit stop.
And he thought the safety car would go longer as well, where it only went for 2 laps this time.
Yeah, where if it had gone for maybe 3 or 4 laps, he could have saved more fuel. Probably only would have saved a lap, but it's a lap less that he would have had to put in later. But still, it's wasn't quite a critical lap.
I've got SDK broadcast app, but I just haven't been using it, mate. We will use it next season.
So Scotty Weston is currently P3 on the road. Brett Taylor, his teammate, just up ahead of him. Nomenson's gone long at this point. I don't think they could make it any longer unless he has saved enough fuel to get to the 30-minute mark, which I don't know if he has. Maybe we could argue, Sinker, if Nomenson can make 30 minutes, then Weston can make the end of the race, because he pitted around about 10 minutes.
Well, it's half an hour. It's pretty close. I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the problem is these guys aren't proven fuel savers. You know, like some of our split one drivers, we've seen them fuel save to do that before. Nah, Nomenson's in. So I'm willing to put my name on this, that Weston's going to need another pit stop. And it's even though it's going to be short, he's still going to have to give up the lane travel time. At the moment, it's...
Fieldman's in as well. They're the last three to pit now. Let's see how it shapes up and where the boys come out. Obviously, we're going to have a bit of a false lineup because the 1, 2, 3, the top 4 cars went in at lap 4. Completely different strategy to everyone else who went in around lap 8 and 10.
So I've got time lost in pits set to 35 seconds at the moment. It's claiming that Weston is going to exit pit lane behind Dan Bartesh, but of course,
caution.
He needs a safety car. Yeah, I mean, he would.
Brad Hayes is needing a tow.
Oh, Brad Hayes. Oh, he
safety
does.
Car has been called.
Wow. So I wonder if Weston comes in. Or if he risks it. Yeah, I don't know if he can save enough with this safety car. We'll get one wave around, which maybe adds an extra lap to the safety car length, but he needs to make a decision very, very quickly whether he pits or not.
Fuel save.
If he pits, he's going to come out behind Quash and Clutterbuck. There's no doubt about that. In fact, he's going to come out behind Brett Taylor.
He needs to do it quickly before the field catches up. Otherwise, he's going to have a closed pit lane. So either he fangs it, which he looks like he's going to fang it and go for the pit.
The pit lane's
he's not slowing down to save fuel right now.
To be fair, the pit lane's not going to be closed until the train's actually created. So he could pit now and then still exit pit lane and it won't be closed. It would never be closed until...
they haven't caught him up.
Yeah, because it would only ever... If he lost a lap in pit lane, then yes, it would close because obviously the safety car train is a train at that point. But I think now he could get away with it. But... it's tight margins. I think you've got to play the safe game here and just pit. It's not worth the risk of running out of fuel because better to take the stop, which he's doing. He's taking the free stop, so I would expect Healy to come in too. He is indeed. What about Russell Uren and John Van Ree? So Uren is in.
All the top 4, so that'll put Clutterbuck and Quashi.
Yep.
Yeah, they're coming around the corner now. That'll put them in the lead, so Van Ree staying out. Is he?
Van Ree's
he's going in as well.
Yeah.
So this will put Quashi on the front. How the boys come out? No one's come out.
So Weston's just dropped now. So there goes. So he's gonna. He's gonna end up just. There's Brett Taylor. Yeah, he's gonna end up just behind Brett Taylor. So this worked out for Brett going long. He's ended up inside the top 10 behind Dan Bartish.
Yeah.
And who else it's worked out for is actually Kurt Nommensen. He took half a second less than Arnold did in pit lane, but he went a lap longer. And that paid off for him by jumping him in the pits. So now he is hot on the heels of the race leaders in Dan Clutterbuck and Michael Quash. And I think Nom Nom's going to have to go for it here. He is going to have to send it on these last few laps because he needs to beat them on track to keep his championship hopes alive next week at Donington.
Yeah. Brad, I think Brad was just told to change positions. 220 is Brad Wall.
Yep.
But I thought he said 159. Must have been 79079. So they need to swap.
So I would say someone's gotten to the cone before the other person.
Yeah.
And
so them two have to swap. I'm not sure if Brad's heard him because they haven't swapped yet. But everyone is now pulling to the left because they were letting the lapped cars through at the moment. So we have got 29 minutes have gone. Oh, 40 minutes and 10 minutes left. I'll tell you what. Oh, so Hazy's PC is booted him. I've had to do a full restart. PC and keyboard isn't letting me. No escape. Oh no, that's a shame, mate. Tough luck, mate. You've had a bit of bad luck with the PC of late, by the sounds of it. I don't know if viewers can hear the cars like I hear them in the car. Hear the cars from my iRacing feed that I've got, but how awesome do these things sound, man?
Oh, they sound so good. So good. If obviously quite a few viewers would have driven them before, but you hear these things at full noise in the car as you're fanging down the straight, and as you just click up the gears, it is just so satisfying to drive. And when you can put what feels like a solid lap for you, you feel like you're on top of the world. It is an incredible feeling.
Pretty awesome.
So safety car has pulled away. Yep.
There's been a bit of extra tutorial going through.
They left them a bit earlier this time, so they couldn't speed up to 180 down the straight.
They've told us at whatever speed it is at the moment. I didn't quite hear that bit, but do not go until the safety steer the RC team says track is good and green, and only at that point. All right, so the leader has control, and not before the final corner.
Brad asking what he thinks the Toyota, or wondering what the Toyota will sound like. I think it'll sound like the Volvo. It'll sound like the Supra Gen 3 car.
Oh, the new Supra?
Yeah, I think it'll sound like it'll sound. Next year is the first season of the Supra.
That could be a replacement for the 86s.
Well, no, the Supra supercar.
Oh,
yeah. As Daniel Clutterbuck gets us back underway, green flag running once again. Yeah, I think it'll sound like the Volvo. It'll sound like a V6 that is a V8. I think that's what it will be. So Clutters has got a good restart here over his teammate, but Nommensen is putting the pressure on Quash here. Wouldn't be surprised if Quash plays the team game and just tries to hold up Nommensen as best he can in his charge to the front of the field. It's been a fantastic season thus far for Kurt in the AITT entry, and just continuing to rise up the rankings and get better and better week in and week out, as is Quashy and as is Clutters, as we ride on board with Nommensen down towards turn 7. So Quash covers the inside line. It's a good defensive move there. Nommensen has no answers for him at this stage, but he's got some wicked pace in that Mustang.
He does have some wicked pace in the Mustang. He's sitting 1/10 behind him at the moment, so he just needs to be careful that he doesn't drive through the car in front of him. He's got the pace, but not so much the experience to drive so close to a rear end like, say, your James Scott or your War Boys.
He somehow pulled off the move, even with the car getting loose through turn 10. Now as he runs it down towards Daniel Clutterbuck at the front of the field, he's got 1.2 seconds to catch up over the next 7 minutes of this race. But Nommensen is on an absolute charge here this evening in the AM class in the 919 entry of Evolution E-Racing. Can he get this done? It's now under a second, so he is rocketing this car towards the front of the field. Singer as Brad Mays goes around in the background and into the tyre barrier out of Lamore Corner.
He's kept going, so there won't be a safety car, unfortunately for him. But his pace, Kurt's pace is phenomenal. Let's see when they come around to start-finish. We'll get an update on what pace they're all hitting.
As he runs it down towards the line. Remembering he had to make an overtake. Oh, it's a
6.9.
Even with an overtake. So Nommensen has got some mega pace. And actually, I'm not surprised here, Singer. So Clutters did a 19.17 pit stop. Kurtz was 15.3. So I reckon Clutters has overfilled the car. Because, Nommensen he went the lap longer. And he's still underfilled it compared to Clutterbuck. So he's definitely got the weight advantage at the moment.
I'm going to go to Mr. Taylor. for some adventure down the back.
He's right on board with Daniel Clutterbuck at the front of the field. Dare Bartish has just got the job done on Jeff Arnold for P4 on the road. Arnold's actually now also dropped to Scott Weston as well. So he's been mugged off a little bit here by some of the AMs. That's good. It's overall rankings.
Yeah, 100%. 0.55. Marty Hughes. So Marty is said that. So Marty is blinking a bit, and he's actually come up the better man and said, "Look, yeah, I'll pull out of the race if you guys want." And race controllers said, "Look, you're at the back of the track, mate." He goes, "Just enjoy it down the back. If it gets worse, go for it." Oh, someone's had a frozen screen.
Yeah, it's Craig Healy.
60s.
Oh, no, he couldn't see Ron Allen trying to go around him. Oh, and I don't think there was much Craig could do there. I don't even know if we can really put the onus on him for that moment, because he could not see anything. It was a massive screen freeze.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Ron Allen just had nowhere to go. So, oh well, with 4 minutes to go now.
The Brads aren't having a great race. I'll tell you, one of the Brads is having a cracking race. Brad Wall, who is on the bottom screen, is chasing down a battle pack at the moment of Scotty Weston being tagged by Bartous, Jeff Arnold, Brett Taylor and Brad Wall. So they've got a great little battle pack on the bottom screen. They're swapping and switching as well.
I just want to point out as well, so yeah, Clutters responded for the last lap time of Nommensen. He had done a 2:06.84, which was the fastest time, but Nommensen went even better on this lap.
Yeah.
It reads as a 2:06. Yeah, it's barely anything, but he did go better. So Nommensen is starting to put pressure now on Clutterbuck. He just needs to make sure he doesn't push too hard and wreck the tyres, as Reg James has had another incident in the background.
Ron Allen as well.
Yeah, so it's a real shame for them. We'll have a quick look at what's happened with Reg and Ron. It's down at turn 7, so Ron was looking at a move. Oh, that is appearing to be moving under brakes for Ron Allen, but we'll see what race control say. He looked to just strafe a little bit towards the braking zone.
Less than 3 minutes left, mate.
Yeah.
So we've got, is this going to be the white flag coming around this corner
No,
now?
I think we'll have 2 more. It'll be the next lap and then one after, because unless we cross the line with 2 minutes and 4 seconds on the board, we're going to get the white flag on the next lap. It's going to be marginal, but for Nommensen, he needs to try and push on now and really put pressure on Clutters, because he doesn't want to let him get another win over him and extend that championship lead.
Reg James got a drive through.
Okay, so that'll be for the move with Ron Allen. So it looked like a couple more to play at that one.
Well, they missed. They could have gone only 2. If they were just, 15 seconds up the road a bit earlier, they would have been right for a white flag on this wrap.
So Nommensen, who's got no drop rounds in his back pocket, driving in the final undroppable round, in the final droppable round of the season, like he wants a race win next to his name. He was 14 points behind Michael Quash coming into tonight's race, and 33 points behind Daniel Clutterbuck coming into it as well. He needs to beat. Yeah, he wants it. He knows he needs to try and get past Clutters here if he can, because he doesn't want to enter Donington Park with an even bigger margin between him and the championship leader, because it is going to be such a tough race for him to try and win the title next week.
Clutters is doing all the right things at the moment. He's making the car as wide as possible, keeping to the centre line, not giving Nommensen anywhere to duck into at the moment. But this is a tricky track. There's a lot of tricky corners coming up here that you could dive into.
So Nommensen hot on the heels of Daniel Clutterbuck. The battle for the race lead is on. Clutter's maybe trying to back up Nommensen into his teammate Michael Quash and hope that Quashy can give him some support. You could see Nommensen struggling for tyre grip through the S's as they run up towards Lamore Corner. And now down the back straight they run, just tucking in underneath to get as much tow as he can. It's 0.37 of a second is the gap. Clutters is trying to break the toe if he can. Quashy still half a second back. Very good. So it's going to be one more to go. White flag lap for Michael Quash, Kurt Nommensen and Daniel Clutterbuck in their battle for the race lead and their battle for the race win here at Sebring, with safety cars thrown in to cause some strife to other drivers. It's a big lunge from Nommensen into one. He can't quite get there. Little dab of the brakes from Clutterbuck just gets the car turned in.
Connie Weston just cracks a 206.749.
Oh, he's got some pace, doesn't he? He's got some pace. If Nom Nom's going to go for it, it's got to be at turn 7. And if Clutters covers the line, he needs to try and set it up for turn 10. They're the next two opportunities for him to get this race lead. I don't know if he's close enough here for 7, so he may just need to settle and then set himself up for the run into 10 where he got past Quash.
He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful because, he's right beside him. Quash is right beside him there, so he's got to be careful. Quash is putting the pressure on now as well, so if he tries to make a dive in and doesn't quite get it off, and Quash can tuck in behind his teammate, it's going to get messy real quick.
So down towards turn 10. He's slightly too far back here. Big wiggle under brakes for Nommensen. Oh, it's getting feisty on board the AITT entry. He's pushed this car so hard to get it up to the front of the field, where Clutters has been cool, calm and collected throughout this race, but he's still got good pace on him at the moment. If he can get the car balanced through the S's, past the curb of death and through Lamore Corner and tuck right up behind Clutterbuck, he may go for a last corner lunge to try and get the win.
He's going to have to, that second last corner across the back after the
he's going for it! No! Not quite there.
He went too shallow. Not a great spot to try to pass, that's for sure.
And I think he's gone for it probably one corner too early because he's given up so much time to Daniel Clutterbuck off the back of that. He wanted it. He wanted it so bad. He wanted that
last exit to be his cleanest, and he just went too early. He went the third last corner. That's not the corner to go on.
So as they traverse the final corner, Daniel Clutterbuck will take the win in Florida to head over across the pond next week for round 9 as the championship leader. Kurt Nommensen comes home P2. Michael Quash makes it a double podium for TMX, and then Jeff Arnold will get another rookie class victory here this evening over Mark Peck, and look at who it is, Di Feldman back on the podium for the rookie class.
Well done, Di. Well done, Di. And look at some of the drivers that she's beaten. That is pretty good. That is very good. Well done, Di. Oh, Tuesday nights just don't give us anything but action.
So Clutterbuck survives to Nommensen. Possibly a rookie mistake going forward at the second to last corner. Possibly not. Maybe just going for anything he could. But you have to take your opportunities where you can get them. It's another win for TMX and it's another win for Clutters. And next week when we head out to Donington Park, he's going to have a nice little cushion as his title lead towards that circuit. It is going to be a tough night for them when they head out there. It wasn't the officials last season. So if they did officials or if they did other leagues, they would have had plenty of practice leading into that one. We've already got our rookie winner, Jeff Arnold, in the waiting room. As I make the changeover to split 1, we'll let Sinker have a quick chat to him about another win and 2 in a row for Jeff Arnold.
Mr. Arnold, this is becoming a regular occurrence, mate. What's going on?
I don't know what's happening. This is bizarre.
Bizarre in a good way, mate. Bizarre in a good way. It sounds like you're having a bit of fun, but you're not only just spanking it, but you've actually passed 3 of the AM guys as well. So, mate, that's sensational. Is the car feeling good? Is the setup right where you want it? What's going on? Is it extra practice? What's the super secret?
Maybe just practice, I think I've just been taking, a little bit more serious because I've been seeing my name at the top of the list. So I've been sort of pushing a bit harder, practicing.
The
during the week
hunger
a
is
bit more,
building,
so-
mate.
Yeah. It's good fun. But no, I've just been trying to sort of learn to just throttle control. And yeah, just throttle control is the big thing for me. So yeah, that's been my main practice over the last few weeks.
Just don't let that green giant get on your shoulders, mate, and destroy you, okay?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of drivers start getting better and better, and then all of a sudden it just overwhelms them and it just becomes too much pressure. Make sure you're always having fun, mate. That is the key. Once it stops being fun, it's like it just takes you over left, right, and center. But mate, it's absolute cracker. And I thought I'm telling you right now, Miss Feldman, if she didn't have what was it? I think we said during the show 3 disconnections, internet. She'd be up there fighting with you and a bit more excitement. But I think you got it in the bag now, mate.
Yeah, I mean, like when I first started racing against her a couple of months ago, she was having a lot of internet connections, and then that went away, and I was seriously worried because she's really fast. Oh, excuse me, she's really fast. And then unfortunately, this is not the way I want to win it. I obviously want to fight to the end. That would be good, but yeah, it's just unfortunate the way it is. She's very
look, mate,
fast.
your fastest lap tonight. Where are you? I'm looking for you on my thing. Here we go. 207s. Dyes was a 209. So a fair few tenths on top of you, mate. But cracking job, mate. Absolute cracking job. Listen, mate. Who supports your team and gets you on track and helps you have all this fun?
Oh, Soko, Cheeky Squirts, and Veteran Gaming Australia is my shout out. And again, same as usual for you guys and the RCs that are doing an amazing job. This wouldn't be the same without you guys. So thank you very much.
Excellent, mate. It's what we come back every week and do just because everyone has a blast and we'll love it when we have people coming in and they're really enjoying it, mate. So good luck. One more round to go and then get ready for a cracking season.
Absolutely.
3. It's going to be absolutely rip terror. This formula is working like crazy on a Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks for your time, Sinker. Enjoy. And
Take care, mate. Take care.
Ciao.
Next up, we have our race winner of race number 1 here this evening, the AM winner, Daniel Clutterbuck. Clutters, fantastic effort from you tonight. Another race win for you. What was the pressure like from Nommensen over the last few laps there? Because he was hot on your heels and really starting to pressure you there in the last few laps. What was it like in the car?
I was sweating buckets, mate. He was obviously faster than me, mate, and I was just doing everything I could to keep him behind me and hopefully was doing it fairly. But yeah, that was tough.
Now, mate, you extend your lead in the championship over him and your teammate Michael Quash. Are there going to be some papaya rules next week between you and Quashy, or is it going to be he's going to favour you next week to help you try and solidify that championship for yourself?
No, not at all. We hit a race. I think we generally just have a gentleman's agreement that we won't race too hard and put our races at risk. So we're competing all the way to the end. It's all good.
Now, mate, you've had a phenomenal season, hasn't he, Cinco? I mean, it's been fantastic.
Oh, absolute cracking. I was about to say, it's good to see the TMX boys together on track, which is spectacular, but both of you to be firing at the same time as well. Because we've seen in the past, one's having a cracker, the other one isn't, and or one can't make it. Someone decides to go around Australia for a while with the family. Heaven forbid. But it's good to see you both having a crack out there and both really good pace, mate. Really good pace. You said that your pace wasn't that strong. Mate, it was 2 1,000ths difference on the best lap between the two of you.
I still maintain that we are definitely not the fastest guys out there. Like Scotty Weston, I think I saw his qualifying time and had no idea how he did that. So I think he unfortunately might have made a mistake with pitting early, but that race was his to lose, I think. And look, I reckon there's easily half a dozen guys that are faster than Kochi and I on any given day. I think we've just been a bit lucky, to be honest. Yeah, and a bit of consistency.
Consistent and clean. That is the key. You got to try to keep it clean and know when to back out, know when to pull out, and know when to put the foot down. And you guys are I wouldn't say conservative, that would be the wrong word, but you're just measured. You don't take unnecessary risks when you don't need to, which is what wins races, mate. Well done.
No, thanks. Appreciate that. Like, especially with these 40-minute ones, you don't really have a chance to recover. That's it. So you want to drive a little bit more conservative on these ones, I think.
Excellent, mate. Well, who gets Team TMX on track and supports you, mate, and the team?
TMX gets Team TMX on track, but while I'm here, I'd like to big shout out to Robbie Turner and some of the other crew at work that it's becoming a bit of a habit for them to get on and watch us every Tuesday, which is great fun.
Excellent, mate. So you get to work on a Wednesday and everyone sits around talking about the race for half an hour before they get any work done.
Well, maybe not everyone, but a couple. The numbers will grow slowly. We'll get some bigger numbers for you.
Excellent, mate. Excellent. All right, take care, mate. One more round to go. Good luck for the rest of it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everything again.
Cheers, buddy. Cracking race. Absolute gentlemen, the TMX boys, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are some of the nicest guys in the field you could talk to, and there to have a good time. Mr.
Definitely.
Quash and Mr. Clutterbuck as well. SDK is deciding to be an absolute pain for me at the moment, Singer, so we're just trying to get that fixed.
Very windy on track here. Very windy. I'm just looking at the weather report while you do that. So we've got precipitation has dried up. So that is gone. And the speed of the wind at the moment is about 27 kilometers an hour. So it's very windy at the moment. But looks like we won't have any rain for the rest of the race by the look of it. Track is still wet though.
Yeah, I think it's. I think what's likely going to happen now is, if it's not drying by the time qualifying's come to an end, it may be. Remember the scenario of a couple of weeks back where we had the drying track coming onto the grid, and it was whoever selected the right tyre at the start of the race. That's who got the benefit of it. So whether there was time for wets or time for dries, and that was the real big balancing act. A few weeks back as. Practice is about to come to an end in a couple of moments. But I've noticed out there, Sinker, Mr. Warboys is apparently the fastest driver in the session at the moment, but the lap times, they are wet. We know how good Warboys is in the wet. I feel like it may be a bit of a swing if it starts to turn dry in the push of James Scott. And Warboys has gone back to the old livery, Sinker. Not the old black and pink, but he's back to the black and green that we mentioned last week. So he's back in the...
He must have heard you, mate. He must have watched the stream and heard you.
He must have.
What is standing out for me at the moment is that Ryan Mueller is doing a 2:14, 2:26 in the wet. Only, what is that? That's 200s of a tenth. Of a tenth behind James Scott. Yeah, and 400s of a tenth behind Blake Warboy. So very, very fast indeed. What's he got here? Cowie Simulator. That's the question. No more rain on the horizon, lads. Ooh, so it's going to be dry. It's going to be dry.
It's going to be dry skies, but is it going to be a dry track? At the moment, with the level of spray that's coming off the cars, I think qualifying is going to be wet. And then is the start of the race still going to be wet, or is it going to be dry enough for the dry tyres? Last time, Blake Warboys picked it correctly. James Scott did not. It cost James Scott a race win. I believe that was that back at Winton? I think it might have been back at Winton.
Yeah, I think
so
it was.
Anything can happen. And, for Warboys with James Scott, who's been away, his championship challenge has become a little bit easier to go back to back. It's 33 points the difference between him and James Scott at the moment. So as long as he finishes on the podium tonight, he should have a good set of points going into Donington Park next week as Warboys brings it up at the end of his practice. Yeah. And in the Sunday series, he's got a bit more of a gap over James, which makes that title a little bit easier to win as well.
So it's going to be interesting to see what iRacing does here when the sessions turn over, because sometimes we see it go from cloudy for a practice and then sunny all of a sudden. Will that mean that the track is dry? Will that mean the track's still wet? Will the wetness maintain from this session? I don't know.
So the way that the weather model works with the rain is, so if we get into the session, depending on what time it's set to, right? So say we're currently,
Depends how much it skips.
Yeah, say we're currently midday and it's a bit cloudy, but it's been wet, and then we cut to 4 p.m. and it's sunny, and it's been sunny for 3 hours, then the track may be a little bit drier than what it was when we left the session. Where if we come in
the qualifying session is at 5:40 p.m. local time. All right, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be the next day, won't it?
Yeah, no, that's Sunday. Sundays will be the next day. So Sundays will be the qualifying, and the shootout will be the day before.
No, what I'm saying I'm saying the actual race time in iRacing.
That's what I mean.
5:40 at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the race itself will be the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think the quali is going to be a damp one, and then it's going to lead out to a dry race by my reckoning.
I love Bob's comment there. Still moist.
I'm right on the time. Come on, mate. Go, Jace. Hope the top 10 finish tonight. Boy, given the 888 type competitors you're up against, young fella, win it or bin it.
That's the wrong mentality to have. It's not a win it or bin it scenario, Ray. Come on.
Ray, you are such a motivational speaker. Look at the Rooster Tail coming off the back of Warboys' car at the moment.
He is really bringing up some water.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, someone who actually struggled for pace in the wet during the practice session was Billy Mole. He was 2 seconds off the pace of his teammate, Blake Warboys.
Yeah.
Now, he may not have been out there as the track was drying in the session, possibly, so he never got a better time in. I'm unsure. But qualifying is going to be the tell of how quick Billy Mole is around here in the wet, but he looks very tentative at the moment. I don't know. He may need to wait till it's dry to really push.
Yeah. Someone's got to tell Dom Grundy that dry's probably not going to cut it.
Is he on dry? Oh, okay, yes. Dries are probably not going to cut it, Mr. Grundy.
No.
I will not help you in this scenario, sir.
No. He's in the pits now, so he'll probably be changed. Stoney has got himself a pit lane start for a rear grid start, pit lane, whichever you choose, for 8 license points. So he's on the cusp of that.
We've already had a round ban this week for young fella Greggy Johnston.
Yep, young fella.
He's
reached a few too many there.
So it's it's an important
no one's
thing.
at a time yet.
No, because they're only just coming around to start their laps.
I know. It feels like forever.
Yeah, because it's an extra 10 seconds thanks to the wet. That's the big key for the wet race. I only hope, Sinker, that we get a phenomenal race here for Split 1, and then we get another phenomenal race on Sunday, and another phenomenal race on Tuesday as well, because we want to end this season strong, and as strong as we possibly can.
While we're talking about ending the seasons, let the viewers know that Hamish is going on to bigger and better things, and we'll be around. We'll still be around. We're still buddies and everything that, but he's taken a step back from broadcasting in SRW and focusing a bit of real life and a bit of the racing that he runs on other nights. So he won't be here on a Tuesday and Sunday like he has been for, God, how long has it been now, Hamish?
I've been doing Tuesday, Sunday for the last year and a half. And I've been with SRW now a little over 2 years.
There you go. So it's been a long 2 years of a lot of fun and a lot of amazing broadcasts that we've had together and with other members of the team.
Yeah, it's
so
been.
I bid you all the best, mate, for all your future endeavours. You'll be around, so don't panic. You'll be around.
I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be out of the Discord. I'll come and bully people in the chat every week as well.
You'll be still around,
and
we'll do a couple of shows here and there. We've got some major events that we're coming up that we'll probably do together as well.
Yep.
If he charges me accordingly, that is.
We'll see.
We've still got things like the Sandown 500, which we had absolute blast together.
Yeah, we did. And
last
even
year, that was absolutely sensational, dude.
Yeah, and even if I could be a part of something like that again, I mean, that would be you know spectacular. And you know, it's been a phenomenal 2 years. I still need to message him, although Cowie probably watch this back. So Cowie, check your messages after your race, because my final broadcast for SRW as a full-time broadcaster will be the final round of the Moser Racing SFL Championship at Phillip Island. And of course, you're not going to be there, Sinker, because you're away, and we need someone to cover for you. And I was going to ask Cowie if he could, because it's my last show is the first series technically that I broadcasted, and the first person I did it with was Cowie. So I think it'd be a nice full circle moment to end it with the one that started and with the commentator that started it with me as well.
Hear out first.
Yeah, pretty much.
So. Just jump back to the tower for a sec. James Scott's ripped out a 2:14.105. Blake Warboys 2:14.350. So they're there and thereabouts around each other again like crazy. These two boys are phenomenal. We just need a couple of more fasties to come and battle it with these guys to take this series to the next level. Phenomenal drivers.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal drivers. And you know, I think if
Travis on dries.
Who's on dries at the moment? Oh, Trav Daly. Yeah,
he's
back in pit. He's back in pit lane, so I reckon he's trying to see how wet it is. But from the rooster tail, I think it shows that it's not quite there. It's not quite there at this stage. I have got some, because I was doing the calculations the other day, just for my own personal count. At the end of the season, so next Wednesday will be my 267th broadcast for SRW.
What?
Yep.
267th.
Yep.
So you need another 20.
Technically, it'd be 33, and it would be 300.
300. Oh, mate, that's on you.
I know. We need to do 300 Sandown 500s, and I'd get not 300. 33 Sandown 500s, and I'd get there.
Oh dearie me. That is wow. What did you do? Sit there and count them all from YouTube?
Yeah, I did. I started it a while ago, and I've updated it recently, and then currently I sit at, prior to tonight, I believe it was 433 was my total count for broadcasts. So it's been a long 2 years. Been a fun 2 years. Obviously, yeah, as you said, I'll still be broadcasting. I've got my own series that I broadcast and admin as well. And then obviously with my my new relationship this year, I want to put some focus into that. Put some focus into getting other experiences as well, but also giving the experience of broadcasting for SRW to someone else to let them have a go and build up their acumen and put their little spin on things as well, and just give an opportunity and pass it forward to somebody.
I've just uploaded a file that we can show during this race anytime we've got some time, and it's just uploading to your Discord, mate.
Okay. Is it the track reveal for the AOW?
It is the track reveal. Dun dun dun. My 5-year-old boy walks into my room and goes dun dun dun. I don't know where he's got that, because I walk into the room and I walk in the room in the morning on the weekend and I go, "Here's Big Daddy Man," and wait for the applause, but I get nothing, and usually get something thrown at me.
Well, it's better than just getting scoffed at, to be fair.
Blake Urquhart up to the top 4. Just made that move nicely. We've got 6 and a bit minutes left. Warboys is out on track. Scott's gone in the pit. Pav's in the dirt. Filling up his pelican beak. My boys, where are my boys? Let's have a look. We've got
Mr.
Brandon
Trainer.
Levin in 14th, the Jacob Trainer in 16th.
Yep, and we mentioned last week Jacob will be leaving the team at the end of the season. Is there any word on where he's going?
This day, because we will see in new colours tomorrow night representing Team SRW Motorsports, Marcus Watson.
Oh, Hang on. How in the hell did you convince Marcus Watson to join your team?
How do you
Sinko?
like them apples?
How did you convince Marcus Watson, of all people, to join your team? That is...
You know, he knows a nice guy when he hears him. So he will be representing us wherever he races, and also when he's on the SRW tracks, and we'll be looking after him. And I'll be looking for some more drivers as well. I had a few other cherries I threw out I didn't get the grasp of, but I'm still working on a team principle because I need these boys looked after, and I don't have the time. And yeah, well, someone will pop up on the radar.
You little conniving worm you are, Sinker, just wriggling your way in.
We got 4 minutes left. Everyone is on track at the moment. Everyone, couple on dries. Blake Urquhart's gone out in the dries to test the dries out. Pavlovich, Levin are testing them as well, just to see how it goes. I'm not sure
if they don't think they can better the lap time, it might be that they're just trying to sort themselves out a little bit and see how it feels.
See how they can handle it for a few laps till it dries out, dry line. The problem is that I'm not sure if the last patch of iRacing has fixed the dry line and the way the rain is evaporating and stuff like that. I don't think it's anywhere near where it should be at the moment.
No, it's definitely getting there. I think the thing is they need everyone out there to cut laps to really break down the line. It's very, very close. You can see how small the tail is on Warboy's car. I have a feeling we're going to see a couple of drivers start the race on the dry tyres just to really test the waters, if you pardon the pun for a second.
I think that everyone should be starting on dry tyres, because my gut is telling me it's going to lapse into the next day. Because what is the weather report at the moment? We are now at 5:51, partly cloudy, and it'll be a next day race. So will the race be wet the next day? I don't know.
Well, it might rain overnight.
Rain overnight.
So Cowie might have pulled the old trick of, we'll give them false hope and make it rain overnight, so then it's wet the next day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be dry.
Yeah, possibly.
Peter Pav's out and dry, still having a bit of fun. But it would be fun doing a bit of drifting in the wet.
So we've got roughly 3 minutes left. So being of course a normal round as we saw in Split 2, drivers will be able to finish their lap times, but I think they're really getting to the maximum of their laps at the moment, and they're more or less just getting the experience down in the wet. For the circuit at the moment, just trying to push on and get some solid laps in prior to heading into the race.
Be key on this track too.
Yeah,
the start is going to be key. The race to that first corner, because it gets really tight really quickly. It goes from like 6 cars wide to 2 or 3 wide to 2 wide as you come through that little sort of chicane. It's not really a chicane. It's more like a little S after the first corner, but also the dry area on the outside. A lot of cars do tend to go out there and do a bit of fishing. So let's see if James Scott has worked out the bug that he had with the restart on Sunday night.
Yeah, we'll see if it works out well for him tonight or not. He'll have a little bit of work to do. Big old drift though from James. More or less, he needs to hope that Warboys doesn't have a clean race and that Warboys does not end the race in P2. That's what James Scott needs to hope for. And we know from a couple of weeks back how feisty the battle has been between Ryan Mueller and Blake Warboys over the last few weeks. Ryan's been very vocal about it. Blake's been somewhat more stoic about it. So we're unsure on Warboys' total feelings. Ryan's made his pretty clear.
I think it's been more cars around them too.
Yeah, but I think when it's just, I mean, we look at Sunday, and they go into a pretty hairy moment. But that's also racing, and sometimes that does happen. And this is nothing against either driver. I mean, they're both quick. Ryan's hungry to get to the next level. The only way he's going to get to that level is by racing wheel to wheel with Blake and pushing him to the next level as well. All we want is them to have a nice, clean, consistent battle, and they've had some great battles throughout the season like that. We can't really put any blame on either of them. They're just pushing so hard that they're getting overlapped with each other, and And that happens in racing from time to time. It's not always one person's fault. It's more or less, you know, they both have somewhat of a part to play because it's like a dance. It takes two to tango, and both of them have been tangoing for the last few weeks together.
Yeah, too true. Look, it's what racing is. It's what brings the viewers back. It's what brings us all out to watch it every week. So, you know, when I look at how many people are out there tonight watching already, it's like just under 40 plus what's on Facebook. So that's spectacular, and it's been consistent all season long. So I love the support we're getting from the viewers and people that come have a chat with us in the YouTube chat, but also people who reach out to us through Facebook and like and love all our posts and everything. So thank you very much to the community for supporting us.
Yeah, and it's a very passionate community. As the timer is done, so these are the final laps for qualifying. You know, Australian sim racing is a very passionate community. There's everyone from all walks of life in this community as well, and you know, as long as we can support each other and get some good racing, no matter what category you race in or what league you race in as well, supporting leagues out there, whether they're small leagues or whether they're big leagues or whether they're small broadcasts or they're big broadcasts. The best thing you can do to support Aussie sim racing and keep it as a boom period is by supporting those out there that are doing it. You know, as I said, whether it's here in SRW, whether it's in other leagues as well, or other broadcasters or what have you, there's so much content on offer that it is such a good time now to be a sim racing fan here in Australia, because you could fill your whole week with completely different series across the week if you wanted to. It is absolutely fantastic.
Blake's done the last lap now.
Yeah, he's done a personal best in the 6th sector as he crosses the line. I don't know if the time was any better. It was, but it wasn't good enough.
1/10, literally 1/10, exactly 1/10. 1:14.105 for James Scott, who's taken our pole position, and number 2 spot is Blake Bourbois with a 2:14.205.
Watch for Ryan Mueller though.
2:14.939.
Mueller crosses the line. Is the lap any better? It is, but it's not good enough.
14.6, so he's gone by about 2/10 faster, but still a spectacular run. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen. My prediction is everyone on dries. Have a look at your weather report, drivers, and see what it says before you pop in there. My advice.
Watch for it.
Jaden Brandon, let's go, Angus. He's you know what? Angus is returning to some form.
He is.
He's getting faster over the last few rounds, which is really good to see.
He is. He's been doing a fantastic effort, has Angus Lawford. Really looking forward to seeing how he continues to develop in this car, not only here in SRW, but other leagues too that he races in as well. He's dabbling in other car types as well, so he's really having a good time in sim racing at the moment, is Angus Lawford, and he's just looking to get better and better every single week. You know, has he taken to the Gen 3 car as good as he was in the Gen 2? There's probably still a couple more areas of improvement he could take, but I think he is still a very strong competitor whenever he lines up in a supercar, and it won't be long until he's challenging. Won't be long until he's challenging the front boys more consistently every single week. I mean, you can take my money for that one.
Yeah, 100%. He's got the pace. Definitely has the pace. He's shown it.
Yeah.
It's just the way he won the Sandown 500 with James Scott.
Yeah.
You saw the pace there on that day. We've seen him in some spectacular pace. He just needs to get the rhythm back. I think he's not far off it. The last few seconds of time is ticking over. The session will now go into race mode. Let's see what the weather report says. It says partly cloudy.
We'll see if the track's wet. But the starting grid, as we search out and do our water tests on the floor, see if there's any chlorine needing to be added, James Scott will start pole position alongside Blake Warboys on the front row of the grid. Ryan Mueller, Billy Mole for your second row with Blake Urquhart, Chris Burridge for the top 6. Jace Douglas, Angus Lawford then for the top 8 with John Gallen and Troy Dooley making up the top 10. Darren Crosby and Travis Daly will then make up the top 12 on the grid here tonight with Dave Arney and Peter Pavlovic in behind them. Brandon Levin, Andrew Cowan will then line up ahead of Jacob Traynor, Dom Grundy, and Troy Stonestreet starts in the back of the field, as does his teammate Greg Sharp back there as well. Our race controllers once again, Sam Katakazinis, Greg Barber and Tyson McAvoy in the booth here this evening.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like the time clock has just continued into the afternoon there at Sebring International Raceway. So the track has evolved. It's, what is it? It's 20 minutes later.
Drivers
so it
are
might
on
have dried up a
wets.
little bit.
Drivers are on wets as well. So it hasn't gone to the next day. I understand where the thought came from, Sinker, because I know that Sunday we're going to the next day after qualifying.
Yeah. Sometimes it does it, depending on how the boys have set it up.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But it's a 40 minutes after the track has gone. It looks a lot drier. We've got Brandon Levin and Jacob Trainer, my boys, Team SRW, have gone out on dries. So they're taking the punt. Oh, Stoney's gone out on dries as well. So let's see what happens.
So race
last
control.
one to come out, Jake Douglas dries, Angus Lawford dries. So we've got a bit of tactical advantage of the dry tyres out there. Will the track be dry enough?
So the front runners have taken wet tyres at the front of the field. James Scott on pole position, waits for the 5 lights for the next 40 minutes of Sebring. It is green flag running. And we are up and away with Scott and Warboys scrambling down towards turn 1. Mueller and Mole have gone with them, and Lawford's into the wall after contact with one of the M1 Racing entries. I think that was Chris Burridge. Lawford, massive damage on the Project 36 car. Pavlovic had to take evasive action. As up the inside for the race lead goes Ryan Mueller past James Scott. He's got some wet pace as the young Mueller of PER, and the Pelican is soaring at the moment at the front of the field.
How good is that? Whew. Grandma says looking good. Ryan Mueller hoping for a wet track. Still a damp track out there, so let's see how it impacts some of these other boys. Trainer and Stoney are still going okay. They're not battling too hard, but they haven't got full pace.
So Mueller and Warboy side by side up towards turn 10. James Scott takes back the lead of the race, but the pressure is on him in behind from all angles. Mueller wants to get through. So does Warboys. Warboys up the inside of Mueller still. They're still side by side, down through 11, up through 12, and towards 13, 14, and 15 as well. Warboys just tucks it in ahead. Smart move from Mueller there. Backed out of it. Didn't want to try and put too much pressure on his own race this early on with 38.5 minutes still left to run.
What a start. We'll have to go back and show the boys and girls how it was done, but cracking pace out there.
So as we run up through the S's and towards Lamore Corner and down the back straight we run. Let's have a quick look at what happened to Angus Lawford off this race start that put him in the wall early. It was contact with Chris Burridge. Oh, he just lent a little bit to the right-hand side of track, left-hand side of screen, and it then made the contact, and then, they were just stuck together there. We'll try and get a better angle of it for you. I think at that point, though, it looked as if Lawford just started to run across the nose of Burridge. He did, started moving right, and contact's made.
I reckon a bit of net code sucked him in there.
Quite possibly could have. We've seen it happen
been dragged. Looked like the nose of his car just got dragged in front of him.
Yeah, we've seen it happen before. Why is it not showing the wet tyres for everybody? That is ridiculous.
I've got Grandpa Crosby on the bottom screen with Jace Douglas in front of him. Dave Arney, Travis Daly has just made a move. Oh no,
Jace Douglas. He's on the dries as well, so he's struggling for grip at the moment as Daly runs it wide. So they're trying to...
Levin's on the wet, on the dries, and he's actually done really well. He's up 4 places.
I reckon it's
He's the only one to really take advantage of the... Trainer is up 2 places of the dries at the moment.
So I think the big issue here is, because of how big Sebring is as a circuit, it's at the length of similar circuits like Bathurst and Silverstone. You can have one part of the track, exactly, because of the spotty rain. So the back end of the circuit might be dry, but the front end of the circuit could be wet. And then that's where you're getting into this difficult zone. It was a minor blink from Ryan Mueller then. Hopefully that does not become a more consistent issue for him throughout this race. Otherwise, he may get taken out of contention before he would want.
Yeah, definitely. He's good pace is unbelievable. 23.23s by Scott, and Blake Warboys is 6/10 behind him, following him. So right on the money there, and it's another 6/10 behind him is Ryan Mueller. The John Gallen up 4 places into 5th place. Mr. Gallen, I'm not going to mention you again because I always put the moz on you, but keep it going, mate. Blake Urquhart, so there's a couple of Pelicans there partnering up. Crosby, Daly, Dev, Arnie, then Jace Douglas just corrected himself up, but he's down 3 places.
So it's, I mean, Gallen, we mentioned it on Sunday, new equipment for him. It's managed to help him find his rhythm again, find his pace, maybe even find the confidence in the car again as well. And we got to give a shout out to Blake Urquhart. So not only is he still running with one hand, he also welcomed his new child into the world over the weekend too. So he's now a dad times 2.
Urquhart.
Daddy Urquhart times 2 at this point as well.
We have to start a series called Daddy Daycare.
Put him in the Lotus and make it the bathtubs. It'll be phenomenal.
Between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. the pickup time.
Yeah. The Daddy Daycare Enduro. Oh, that's phenomenal. Have a slow zone somewhere where they have to wait to pick up the kid as well. So
they've got to have the kid in a sling in front of them.
Yep. Put a booster seat on the back of the rig.
Yeah, but penalties given for breastfeeding. Oh, dearie me.
God.
The back of the track, the concrete part of the track is looking dry.
Yeah, I think the top of the circuit where we get that more, as you said, the concrete sort of tarmac composite. More or less just after sort of turn 13, that's looking a bit drier. Where the mid part of the circuit, where it's more tarmac based, pretty much from turn 5 down towards turn 10, 11, and 12. Oh.
He's calling something in. He looks sounding a bit distressed, but he's not off track.
Was it Lawford? Because he has been struggling. He's still running at the moment, is Mr. Lawford?
It's Greg Sharp.
Oh.
Levin's off track.
Where is Brandon? Oh, here he is. Here.
Right now.
Yeah. Struggling with those dry tyres is Brandon Levin. See, I think because I mean, even in the dry here, Sinker, the composite areas where you've got that concrete mixed in with the tarmac, it's such low grip. Even if it's drying from the wet, it's horrible. It is horrible.
I just thought of something, Hamish.
Yes.
Maybe they were listening to me on the broadcast, and when I said it's going to be the next day flip over, it'll be definitely a dry track. Maybe they were listening to me on the broadcast. They've gone out and dries.
Sinker, this is where you've got to teach your drivers to not listen to
me.
Yeah, no, not necessarily not listen to you. Don't listen to the broadcast, because sometimes the waffle, we get it wrong.
Yeah.
And when we get it wrong,
I don't know. Look, I don't know if that's what they've done, but my gut's telling me that quite possibly.
They definitely need a crew chief if they've listened to us on the broadcast before their race, because I think, at least for me as a driver, if it's broadcasted, I've just got the broadcast on, but I'm not listening to it, because I don't want to hear them talk about me while I'm driving, because I'm going to make a mistake. So,
the worst thing is when I used to drive is like, oh yeah, they just showed you spinning again, Sinker. And like, oh yeah, awesome.
It's like, oh, I expected it when the car went round, to be honest with you. So it's not no surprise.
We're at the 8-minute mark. James Scott just set the fastest lap at 2:14.083. It's only 2/10 faster than what Blake is doing at the moment. Blake is still 7/10 on the back of him. These boys are just showing some amazing pace, and Ryan Mueller is keeping up. He's dropped off to a minute to a second and a half, but still a reputable pace. Second and a half doesn't look like a lot on track, that's for sure.
Yeah, so Scott proving he's got some good pace in this car, and I think the more difficult thing now will be the changeover period. Angus Lawford's been given a drive-through for that issue on that one with Chris Burridge.
Angus Lawford retiring the car.
Yeah, I think he's got big damage, and he's already gotten the black flag, so I'm not surprised. He brought it into pit lane, which is At least that's good from my perspective, Sinker, because oftentimes we've got someone who...
That's exactly what we're supposed to do.
Exactly what we want. Bring it back to pit lane and then leave the session. Don't...
he's obviously used his fast repair already because it's his second pit stop. And it's probably just toast on him. Poor bugger. He just can't get a break at the moment. And his pace has been really good tonight too. So he qualified up. Where is he? He's in 12th, so he qualified about 8th at the moment. Oh, hardware issues too. There you go.
Ah, that's a real shame. A real shame for him. It's not been a good. He's now been given a post-race penalty instead. That's fair enough. It's been a real tough 2 days of racing for Angus. So obviously that issue there, but then also he copped a minor.
He could serve his drive for
But even the fact that he had to pull out of the race because of the hardware issues. But then even yesterday he copped a minor, smallest of taps from someone, and it put him over an instant limit, and he got a drive through in another league. So just a real shame for Angus there. Hopefully things start to look up for him in his sim racing over the next week or so, or in the future too. But one man whose sim racing career is not looking like it's taking a downward decline is James Scott, who has been at such a consistent level for so long. But on the flip side of that coin, Blake Warboys has as well. Now, he has had an up and down season across the Supercars series here in SRW Sinker through Sunday and Tuesday, but he's still persevered this season. He's still pushed on. And it's quite remarkable how that can work out in somebody's favour. Of you have a bad couple of rounds, but you just keep going and you just see what can happen. And for Blake, it's paid off immensely for him. He hasn't let those issues overtake him. He's more or less just pulled up and then pushed on.
Hamish, you got to put the bottom screen on. Urquhart, Travis Daly are chasing Crosby down. These guys are battling like crazy. But all three of them were like a tenth apart at 1 second for a corner, and it's sliding everywhere. So Urquhart's rear end just did a bit of a wiggle then. So Crosby's pulled away, but it's brought Daly on the back of him. 1/10 they're coming through.
We've also got this battle pack further back in the field as well. Greg Sharp, Chris Burridge and Peter Pavlovic battling away for P13. Burridge has got some work to do tonight to make up for the positions he lost after the lap 1 contact with Angus Lawford. That battle on the small screen there of Urquhart, who's under pressure from the M1 drivers at the moment. Daly wants it up the inside towards the final corner as Crosby leads them through. Is it going to be an M1 Racing double car lead? It is going to on the exit, but Urquhart's coming back at him. He wants that position now. And on the other screen, we've got Burridge trying to get a job done here on Sharp as well. So the M1 boys are on the move.
All the M1 on the Pelicans just going for it everywhere. So looks like Urquhart's not going to keep it stick there. And looks like we've got... Oh, they've switched it around again. Whew.
And then Burridge, who gave a slight little tap to Sharp, unsettled him, tries to do it on the outside at turn 1, gets the job done, does Burridge there. It appears that the safety car driver, Sam Katakazinas, has hopped into the seat. I'm unsure why, whether Trainer or Stone Street have had to stop on the road somewhere. Stone Street's still going.
I can't see anyone I can't see anyone off track at the moment.
I'm not sure. That's a very weird
Switch
scenario.
The camera down a bit, mate.
It's all good. Dodsey trying to do his best Larko for us. He's tipping the dry tyre crossover lap 5 to 6, or 5 to 6 laps. It's not a bad call. I think the crossover is actually going to be the pit stop. I think it's going to be 15 minutes to 20 minutes into this race is going to be the crossover, because it's when the lap times are within 5 seconds of a dry time. That's when we're going to see the crossover point. I think actually 15 minutes might be a bit too close.
It looks like the dries are starting to grip again now, because Brandon Levin is putting pressure on Chris Burridge. He's the only one on the dries in that pack of 3. He's got Peter Pat behind him, and the Rooster Tail is virtually gone at some parts of the track.
We've also got Douglas on dries as well. I would show the compounds on the tower, but it's broken. It's not actually showing the tyre compounds for some reason for all the cars. So
pretty much everyone is on wets apart from Jason Douglas, Brandon Levin,
Dom
and
Grundy,
Trainer
Jacob
Stone
Trainer.
Street.
Yeah. So I know Grundy's on wets. So for now, if we see Jace Douglas rip out a 2-minute 12 or a 2-minute 10, we're probably getting to crossover point for the wet tyre runners to change over to the dry tyre. But as Douglas traverses the final corner, you can see the wiggle that he gets off that corner, so it's still just a little bit too wet down there. Yeah. As I think Dooley is on
the bottom screen, man. Got to get on that bottom screen now. Oh, that was switched across. Oh, man, that car of Burridge's just fishtailed it across and drifted around Brandon Levin and back into behind him like an over-under. But these boys are having a cracker down the bottom.
What spanners can be thrown in the works when there's a little bit of water on track? Hopefully they're not rusty ones.
You want good quality ones, get Warren Brown tools.
Exactly right. How much rust protection are on those spanners, Sinker?
Mate, they just don't rust, mate. They're that good. Mate, they're just rust and no spanners and Warren Brown tools does not exist.
You could have just claimed they were anodized and probably fixed the issue.
These things, mate, when I was in there last, they had a 60-year-old torque wrench, which had brass components on it, wooden handle, being serviced.
Wow.
Serviced. Just basically what they were doing is adjusting the torque to make sure it was on point.
Is Barnes over the radio?
Sorry, I was just listening to RC. There was a few little cars coming together, a couple of laps together, but no further action. Having a blast, having the ball.
So I suppose
Trainer's on the back of Stoney.
He is. He's starting to put the pressure on Stone Street towards the back end of the field. Although Stone Street's just gotten past him, so that might be why he's on the back of him at this point as well.
Yeah.
Stone Street's just done a 16 on those dry tyres, so I think we are getting closer and closer to changeover. Yeah,
coming back.
Yeah.
Levin's on 1:16.05, so he's nearly in the 15s.
I think if they can go to the 25-minute mark, we're going to see them change over to dry tyres. I think at this point now it's too early. You got to give it 5 or 10 minutes to really get the changeover.
As well, these guys that are on dries will go for their pit. They won't need to take the dries.
They won't, but they'll probably need to change tyres because of how much they've torn them up in the wet by sliding them.
Look, I don't know. I haven't driven these damn things, so I can't tell you. But it is a hypothesis that could work. Hope Dom Toretto didn't take that torque wrench off you, mate.
If he's referencing what Dom used in the...
Again, these boys down the bottom still going for it.
They are having an absolute...
Dom Toretto don't hang out the same circles, mate. I don't have big gold chains.
You sound like you do, Sinker, I'll be honest. You sound like you have at one point. Chest hair out, gold chain on.
big Elvis collars?
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, I'm sporting my Warren and Brown tools and SRW polo tonight.
Very good. I'm running my basic black T-shirt.
Do you reckon you could drop in the lower screen that video I gave you?
I can. I might wait till we hit 20 minutes because it'll be the halfway point of the race and we can have a little ad break to go get a little refreshment. So we'll be able to do that very shortly. Let me size it up actually while we're here. So
what have we got? James Scott has just pulled out a 2:13.708 and Blake Warboys a 2:13.807. So they're there and thereabouts of each other all the time. Look at the tails. The rooster tails are still there around that part of the track. But Jace Douglas, Brandon Levin is now in 11th place. So he is pulled away from Troy Julie and Chris Burridge. He's now overtaken Cowie as well. So I'm going to... I can't switch because Hamish is doing something. But the dries are starting to work for him at the moment. His last lap was a 2:15.7. So not too shabby at all.
Yeah, I think changeover is definitely going to be the pit stop because they've just done 13s. So it is getting faster and faster. I'm just figuring out how I can mute this because I'm going to have to open it to resize it. So once I figure that out.
Just mute everything else. Just go to that camera.
The problem is I don't know what the size of it is. That's the issue. I could. Hang on. I can just do this.
Apologies in the pits.
Yes, indeed. Let me just pause that. Resize.
Oh, that's a great face.
Resize. A fantastic. What an opening for you, Sinko. You're so excited. It's like your first day of school.
It's like gritting my teeth, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Oh, that's fantastic. Let me drop the volume so it's not too loud. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to take a small ad break here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back very, very soon. We're going to find out
what I'll still be here, but listen to this.
Yeah. The track announcement for the upcoming 4th edition of the Australian Open Wheel Nationals between SRW and GSRC. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon.
Gents and open wheel fans, it's Josh and myself, Sinkovic here. Another track selection for our fantastic annual event. Third time lucky, hopefully, for SRW. Tonight we're going to be picking the tracks. Josh, how's things going? How's Gentlemen Sim Racing Club going?
Gents are doing fantastic. We've actually had a stellar turnout this season, so by running them before the Porsches, I feel like we've kind of married it up. They're just different enough that we've ensured we've had a good turnout all season. 73 unique drivers on our side, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, we're still having around 25 guys rock up every week, which is amazing. Jax has pretty much closed out our series, but technically it's still an open game. I believe Danny Davison, if he has a perfect round, there's still a potential for, spicing up that top step if Jax is very unfortunate in DNFs. But it's been a great season for everyone, and looking forward to the AOWM.
It is a spectacular one. The boys at our end have been battling it out, and they've got 2 more rounds to go, so it should be interesting. The event is going to be on Wednesday, the 2nd of July, so it's a week after our round finishes, I believe 2 weeks after yours.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, plenty of time for practice.
Yeah, they'll have plenty of time to practice. At the moment, Marcus Watson is leading the ladder at our end of the field with all the other boys. Danny Davidson is, I think, sitting in about 5th at the moment with us at this time. But all the same faces are out there. You got your Dougie Gowans, who's been doing really well, who's one of the admins for the Australian Open Wheel Nationals too. But I'm not going to get into it because once I start talking, mate, we'll be here for hours. How about we... put a gun to this machine, spin the wheel. What are our selections for this event? We've got Sebring, Fuji Alternate, Portimao, and by way of default, me and you tonight thought, well, you know what? The Bend is out. Let's put the Bend International out. Sorry, Dougie. We made an executive call. Let's see how we go, mate.
Yes, let's spice it up. Let's see how we go.
Nearly.
All right. I was very close.
There
we go.
You know what? Pretty good track, pretty popular track. Have you been on it? What do your boys think of it?
Yeah, I mean, Portimao's a fan favourite. Great for any downforce car. There's plenty of overtaking opportunities, plenty of loaded corners. Could throw some tyre, some strategy stuff into the mix as well. So, yeah, no, that'd be great. Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it as well. Well, the Moser Racing Australian Open Wheel Nationals will be on the 2nd of July, Wednesday. Starting time is quality. What we normally do is about 8 p.m. So watch the socials. This will be out in the socials. We'll throw the gauntlet down and hopefully SRW can finally get a win. But we'll see what happens, mate. Thank you as usual, Josh. As a pleasure. You'll actually hear my voice in the broadcast this time because I'll be up there with JP and I believe your fellas and yourself.
Yeah, Zachy and me will be in the booth as well. So we
have the four dynamic duos.
That's it. We might even have to spice it up. Give you another chance at taking a title, mate, and run that teams championship again. I think that was great last time. Added another dynamic to it.
I think it's a good idea, and we'll go ahead with it. Why not? I think it was a lot of fun. Everyone that was watching the broadcast just thought it was an extra bit, an extra level there, and a lot of fun. So, all right, mate. Well, unfortunately, we can't gamble online, but we'll have to put out a bet of some sort. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a nudie run if we win. Who knows?
Very good.
All right, take care, brother.
Too easy. See ya.
Well, Autodromo Internacional Algarve will be the place to be for the Moser Racing Australian Open Wheel Nationals between GSRC and SRW in a couple of weeks' time. And I'm disappointed, Zinker, because why couldn't it have been Portimao when I called the Australian Open Wheel Nationals? Why couldn't it?
On purpose, mate, why? You go, it's like, oh, this will rub him up.
Why couldn't it have been? Why couldn't my second favourite track on iRacing have been the track for any of the three that I called? I mean, you know what? Though it would have been worse if it was Red Bull Ring because that's my favourite track. So that would have cut me a lot deeper. So changeover time is now. We noticed during that little break there to announce the circuit, slicks are now the go. So drivers who have come in have taken the slick tyres, except for Chris Burridge, who pit on lap 8 and took wet. So he's going to have to pit again to take dries if he feels that they are applicable. So
Travis Daly in. So Jace Douglas. He's not going to make it to the end. He's followed them in as well. There you go.
Yep. And he's going to be the fuel's going to be able to cover as Warboys through all that has actually jumped James Scott as well. So intensifying action at this point.
Work.
Warboys on the inside. So we know how good Warboys and James are in the wet and in the dry, but the changeable conditions, it's such an X factor between them.
That was a great bit of move, bit of over under there, but it's. I'll tell you what, these boys have got some cojones.
They do.
The way they drive these cars around, the way they push them to the absolute edge is amazing.
So
Dave Hardy, fastest lap at 2:10.937.
Well, Trainer did an 11.12 prior to that, but the lap times are only going to get faster because we're getting into dry, full push territory at this stage. So Scott's taken back the lead over Warboys. Mueller is 8.3 seconds back off of them, although he took a 2-second longer pit stop than what James Scott did. Billy Mole is 6 seconds off of him at this stage as well. So there's a bit of spreading. A safety car would spice things up to the 10th degree right now. And if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen at this point because it's the changeover. There's a couple of spots where it's a little bit wet still, but the majority of the track is dry. So any loss of traction for any cars out on the road, that could bring the safety car out.
I'll tell you what, Crosby, the old fart, the OG, is having an absolute cracker tonight. He's having a blast out there. He'd be on full adrenaline rush when he gets out of his rig. He won't even if he had a heart attack, he won't need any more adrenaline. He has enough in his system. Him and Arnie, and it was Urquhart before, it was other drivers. He's had everyone up and around him like a couple of tenths, and now he's battling again.
He is indeed, as the battle for the race win continues on. 13 minutes is what's left in this race, and Blake Warboys is tucked right underneath the rear wing of James Scott's car. It's maximum pressure at the front end of the field. And if these two tangle and they end up off track, Ryan Mueller could sneak through, but he is 10 seconds back, so there's plenty of time between them. A 2:08 from both of them on the last lap. The faster lap went to Scott with a 2:08.32, so it's maximum push as Trainer has had an incident in the background as well. Could very easily bring out the safety car if he's not continued, but he has returned to the circuit.
Burridge has still stayed out in the wets, and he's still doing okay. He's done his 2:30 is fastest, 2:16 is his current lap pace, and he's still keeping up with the boys around him.
So down towards turn 7 for Warboys and for James Scott. And this battle, it feels like there's something special about it. I don't know if it's the thunder and lightning from the rain clouds above, but there's an electricity to it. There's an aura about it. There's an energy that is bringing this could determine our championship. This could determine who's going to carry the momentum into Donington Park next week, where we crown our next Split 1 Pro champion for this season. And it has been a battle all the way to the end. It was 33 points that separated into tonight's race. At the moment, Warboys will be giving up a couple to Scott, though, if it ends like this.
It's amazing. It's just watching how many laps these guys do, and it's just a couple of tenths apart. And we saw it Sunday. All it takes is one mistake, one and only mistake, and it was a little bit of a missed braking point for Blake. But Blake's exit out of his corner is sensational. Have a look at it. I've been watching for the last few corners. He's really been getting up out of the corners really well, but James is not giving him the space at all that he needs to get in and under him.
Completely squeezed him to the edge of the circuit there. Took him right to the track limits. Completely within the rules, of course. Didn't knock him into the grass, but he was just trying to hold him off as best he could. Fastest lap, though, of the race goes to Warboys. 2:07 on that last lap, 0.5. The lap didn't technically count for James Scott because he had an off-track somewhere. So for Warboys, it's counted for him. Okay, so Trainer is out at the back of the field.
216 is just called, Peter Pav just called something in. Lap 13, I'm not sure.
I think it might have been Greg Sharp, possibly. We'll have a quick look back at it and see what's happened with Sharpie. And Pavlovic back here. Oh, that's a horrid camera angle. Let's fix that up for us here. So what's happened with him? Oh, it was a wild ride into the grass. And then rejoins on the circuit. Oh, there's Pav, so he wants to call in a bad rejoin, I would say.
Yep. Oh, Warboys just hit a 2:07.518.
He did.
First one in the sevens.
Well, Scott matched him. He did a 7.3, but it didn't count because he had an off-track somewhere. So fastest lap sits with Blake Warboys at the moment as a lap that is counted at this stage of the race. He's given up a little bit of time to Scott here, but I think he might just be holding back, not wanting to push the tyres too hard at this point of the race. Happy just to sit there and save it for a final push to the line to try and take this victory if he can.
Um, 216. So the rejoining car, I think, was Sharp.
He was.
And I think race control said there's no further action. But 216 Pav didn't try to avoid an incident, kept his line. So he probably would have, he's just given a warning, next time you need to make some sort of attempt to avoid the car that's re-entering. Because it would have been like, depending on from our angle, it looked like a sharp entry. It could have been a shallow entry. So, yeah. Either way, it's no further action, and off we go.
So another fastest lap that time by for Blake Warboys, a 2:06.58. So he has really turned it on board the LGC Images Mustang of WKMP Sim Sports. 8 minutes, 4 laps, anybody's race at the front of the field between Scott and Warboys.
And 40 minutes of this, of 3/10 apart, driving, anticipating braking points, trying to get around each other, putting pressure on each other. That's mental aptitude that I do not have.
It feels like the M1 at peak hour, I'll be honest with you, Cinco. I mean, 40 minutes of driving right behind the other person.
How do you do it, mate? Yeah. I would be making mistakes left, right, and centre because the focus has got to be blistering.
Oh, it's not just full focus. It's keeping yourself like in check. So not necessarily in focus, but keeping your mind clear and keeping your, as you said, the focus on what's ahead of you and just sticking to your lines, running a consistent race. It's a hard thing to do, to run consistently when running fast laps. It takes a lot of lap practice to get into that mentality and to get into that approach at racing as well. It's one of those 1%ers.
Off track.
Oh,
he's
no.
all right.
All right, he's okay.
He's all right.
Yeah, it's one of those 1%ers that make or break you as a top level driver, and it's those things that drivers can struggle with, that then stops them or halts them from going to the next level. And for Warboys and Scott, well, they've got it in spades, so they are absolutely flying.
But you've also got to look at the is it practice? It's just, I don't know. These guys just blow me. They blow my mind. Simple as that. A 9:08. The time is just dropping again.
Another fastest lap from him. That's ridiculous.
He's just one after the one after the other. And at the moment, Warboys is getting better exit speed. So he's holding mid corner pace a bit better and getting exit beautifully out of there. So it might be a matter of time tonight. It might be Warboys' night tonight.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to, I think, how desperate is James Scott going to be to defend position? Because we know that he is a very, very good defender, but he's also someone that will defend to his heart's content. He'll push and push and push to defend his position. He will not give it up for free. So Warboys is going to have to earn it the hard way if he can. He's going to have to genuinely race James Scott to this race win. He doesn't have, a far out amount of pace over James, so it's now going to come down to his race smarts, his race acumen, and where he's stronger than James to get this overtake done.
Jacob Trainer, don't be so bad on yourself, mate. It can't be worse than my driving. Always think, when you think you've had a bad day, you can always say, yeah, still better than Sinkers. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. There's a shining light, silver lining to every cloud, mate. Watch these corners and watch the way Warboy's car reacts to the change of direction compared to Scott's. Scott's looks a little bit more aggressive. The car isn't as soft as Blake's is by the look of it.
I just saw there on your screen as well, Singer Blake Urquhart dropped off track, gave the position for free to Darren Crosby, so that's now a change of position for them as well. Yeah, Dodzy saying you can't really go offline, so he's going to have to try and force James offline to try and get this job done. But they've also got to try and traverse the lap traffic that they're trying to get through as well. So the next car on their list is Brandon Levin. He's quite far up the road from them, so that will make at least a little bit of breathing space for them, and not very likely that they're going to catch him by the checkered flag. So that should mean it's clear running ahead now for this battle to continue over the next 4 minutes.
100%. Harry Dodds goes, you got to stay on the line. Yeah, the thing is, the only way Warboys is going to be able to get from him is an error, but also his exit speed, the way he's been approaching some of the exits, he's got the pace coming out. We've seen him come out of the last corner, side by side. We've seen him come out of other corners as well, the back straight as well, come out side by side as well too. So he just needs to get that little bit tighter before he comes into those, so when he comes out and gets side by side. And then I'd love to see a drag race to finish.
Yeah, I think what's going to be the big point to remember as well is, so you can be in the tow all day and get the pace advantage over the car ahead of you. As soon as you pull out of the tow, it's like you're hitting a brick wall. The car will just drop pace back down to its maximum top speed. So you've got to almost try and line the move up, as you said, off exit, maximize those exits, which Warboys has been doing, and then try and open up an opportunity for yourself, which James is so good at kind of halting them, as I said, or limiting those opportunities. Blake almost has to hope that James just cracks here and gives him a chance to get through, and he'll take it straight away if he sees it.
Yeah, 100%. We are down to 30 more subscribers, people. All we need is to get us to 1,500. Please like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the notification button. This is it. Look how close he is. Is he going to get the exit he wants?
I want to see it hit 1500 before I leave. That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I want to see it by next Thursday.
Yep. He's
He
got
wants
it
it.
underneath him.
Oh, he's not quite
not
there.
enough.
Wasn't quite there. I think he's trying to bait him. He's trying to bait him now. It's another
Maybe do
fast
a
lap from War Boys.
Do that move a couple of times like that, and then fake him into the move to the left, and then take him on the outside. Or you could do Lando Norris and just spud straight in.
Yeah, just clobber your own teammate.
Yeah.
So it's the final lap, and I think War Boys is out of options. We got the white flag from Race Control and Barney, and there's not much more War Boys can do. His last opportunity is going to be the final corner. And outside of just bombing it in and hoping for the best, he's going to have to try and maximize his run through Lamar corner to get the run down the straight and line him up on the inside at the last corner. But he's so far back now, 7/10. That little dive at 1 really cost him on track time, and he may have to settle for P2.
I think he has.
I think he knows that he can give up a race win at this point, head into Donington next week, and bring the challenge to Scott again for the championship.
Yeah. 205.453 his fastest lap. So the boys have been swapping between James Scott and Blake Warboys in fastest laps. Cracking pace. Jonathan Gallen is going to win.
Hang on, don't talk too early, Sinker, because he's still got 2 seconds.
I said I wasn't going to talk to
I know,
all
but
night about him, and I didn't.
He's got 2 seconds to Trav Daly.
I've got a bit to the lap to go.
I know.
Travis Gallen, he's up there.
He's got
16 seconds to bloody make it.
He's 16 seconds behind Billy Mole.
He's
got 2 seconds to
I got too
Trav
excited.
Daly.
2.2 was in front of Travis Daly.
Through the final quarter, though, comes James Scott. He's going to take another win on the books this season here at Sebring. It's not going to be the lead of the championship into the final round, but it's going to be crucial points gained back on his rival Blake Warboys in P2. Mueller of PER will come around the final corner, and he will take himself another podium once again, solidifying some solid points for himself here tonight in a nice clean run. Billy Mole, his rival, comes around the final corner to come home in P4. And then John Gallen with 2.5 seconds the gap back to Trav Daly in P6. Traverses the final corner, and he'll make it a class win for Pacific Esports Racing and himself. A return to form for John Gallen, who takes home a top 10 finish and the class win here tonight. An incredible effort.
Race too, very tough race. Hats off to all the boys out there. Some really good driving out there. Greg Sharp up 10 places. Not bad at all. Where are the biggest movers? Here's the biggest mover. Travis Daly up 6. Dave Arney up 6. Crosby, very good race tonight too. Up 3 places. Got himself onto the 4th place for the Pro-Ams.
It was a good night on the road from our championship contenders. In terms of the Pro-Am field, well, Jace was leading that title race by 30 points. He still finished ahead of Urquhart in this one. So he's gained points back off of him again. So he extends his championship lead in towards next week at Donington, where he'll be our champion-elect coming into the round. But anything can happen when we head out to Donington Park. It's such a tough circuit out there. And the drivers will be at their full potential in towards that round as well. But for the celebrations for James Scott and for John Gallen, it was an incredible night of racing for them to solidify some positive performances on the road as well. And now we just have to wait for them to come and have a chat to us.
Oh, I had to take my headphones off. Barb's is getting too loud out there.
So our provisional race results for race 2 of the evening for the split one affair here tonight. James Scott takes the win to Blake Warboys and Ryan Mueller on the top 3. Billy Mole makes up the top 4. John Gallen wins it for the Pro-Ams in P5 to Trav Daly, Dave Arney, Darren Crosby, Jace Douglas and Blake Urquhart for the top 10. It was then Greg Sharp, Peter Pavlovic, Troy Stone Street, Chris Burridge and Dom Grundy for the top 15. Brandon Levin, Troy Dooley, Andrew Cow and Jacob Traynor. And then Angus Lawford were the 2 non-finishers here this evening for split number 1 as well. 1 round to go. championship to be decided next week at Donington Park. Whilst we wait for our for our race winners, of Pro and Pro-Am to come and have a chat to us, let's have a quick preview of the week to come. Tomorrow night in the Moser Racing Super Formula Lights Championship, we head out to Sandown for the final sprint round of the season. That is going to be a wild affair out there. Josh Houghton trying to lock in a championship for himself in the pro class of that. Marcus Watson's trying to lock in a championship for himself. 125 points is the gap. Is it if he wins tomorrow night, Sinker, he's won the title? Is that the case for Mr. Watson? Yeah. I mean,
I think so, yeah. I think it's pretty much.
Pretty big deal. Trav Daly has not gotten the memo that we only talk to class winners, and we have not spoken to the second class podium in so long. Sorry, Trav, you don't get a chat to us. Thursday for the Toyota GR86 Nationals, we head out to Alton Park for the Foster's Circuit. And then Sunday, for the final round of the Sunday Series, we're back here at Sebring for an 80-minute enduro race, including qualifying and the top 10 shootout as well. I don't know who just dragged Trav into the green room, but he's not having a chat with us, unfortunately for him. First one, though, to have a chat to us, return to form for him from Pacific Esports Racing. It is John Gallen. John, congratulations. A return to form, a class win for yourself. So you got some new kit on the rig earlier in the week. It paid off for you somewhat on Sunday. You had some good pace, and then tonight you proved you got some pace as well, and you've ended up taking the class win for yourself. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, mate. I was bloody surprised myself.
Mate, it's all up to me. I did it for you.
You did it.
I did it, mate.
You mocked it on me last week.
Well, I said at the beginning of the race, I said, I'm going to say this once. Gallen's been in some hot form, and that's the last I'm going to mention him all night until the last lap.
Yeah, and then
I'll take that.
And then he thought you were beating Trav Daly by 17 seconds, and I'm like, whoa. Don't speak too early here, Steve, because he's only got a 2-second gap, and if he knows you're talking about him, we may have a mistake on our hands. But no, you managed to pull through, and you managed to get a solid performance for yourself. But, I mean, I know it's been a tough run for you here in SRW across this last season and even last season as well. How much does this mean to you now to get back up to form, not only get a top 5, but get the class win as well, and finally see some form going forward, which you can now put into, next season here in SRW, as well as season 24 of the Vets starting in a couple of weeks?
Oh, I don't know. I had the old gear. The pedals were nice, and I was finding some good form late. Happy days. And then, what was it? Was it last week at Virginia, was it?
2 weeks ago was Virginia.
2 weeks ago, Virginia. Yeah, I so wanted to race because I had some good pace there. I was pretty solid. And then the pedals decided, well, I don't want to be recognised, and the power system shut down. So then I'm like, oh, okay, we'll get some new gear, and we'll bolt up the new wheelbase and pedals. And yeah, big shout out to teammate Dave, helping me with the wheel, and my mum getting me the pedals that I wanted to get, and then it was just a matter of time to take the time, set it all up, and all others behind the scenes for the figures and I don't know, whatever they call it, the settings that you set in some sim hub or whatever you call those things.
Yep.
Pit house for Moser. Get that as a good base, and give it a crack on Sunday night, and I felt good. Ran again last night in Apex and went pretty well, and I really didn't think I was going to go too well tonight, but hey, I'll take that. Definitely.
Oh yeah, you got to take a win when you get a win, mate. How was it out there tonight? The conversion from wet to dries. Was there a big difference?
It's just picking that right time. Like, we'll talk and do we go? And we're like, no. And we're like, yeah, okay, we're going to go. And then it's like, no, we'll do one more lap. And then it was like, declared dry. And we're like, damn, we went a little bit too late here. One lap. I think I went in one lap too late. And it's hard. I've done it before in Vets and had a really strong result there. I think I got, after penalties, I think I got P4 overall. In split one, and I was like, holy dolly, I'll take that. But it was just...
Well, P5 overall tonight, mate.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, bloody oath.
Those guys up the front, like Scott Warboys, they're just aliens. Ryan was G'ing me up, and pushing me along, and so was the
He's
rest of
getting
the team.
fast, man. He's
Yeah.
getting fast.
Yeah, it's good.
He's
It's good
turning
to
into a
see.
weapon. He's on the verge of something wicked. Yeah,
Hope he
very much
sticks
so.
at it and keeps pushing the limits that he does, and
Yeah.
finds himself, and he might be a good one for him. So I'm very happy with Ryan. He's really good asset to the team. Along with all the other boys, and glad Dave Arney's in here now, cutting some laps because he's got some good pace too.
Yep.
And Pav, he's doing well. It's just a couple of things. He doesn't get the time to do what we all get to do. So he basically gets in practice session. That's it. Bang, off he goes. Let's see what happens.
He's a dad racer. He has no time. That's like me. P1 is qualities for me. But anyway, listen, mate, legendary effort. Good to see you up at the pointy end again. I didn't do the Moz, so I feel good about it tonight. Who gets Mr. Gallen on track and the team?
Well, I'd firstly like to thank you and Hamish for putting on the broadcast each and every week. It's a big effort. Congratulations, and we all like to watch it. Big shout out, my mum and whoever else supports me in the chat, whatnot, and the team, the guys in the team at PR. Awesome bunch of blokes. We have fun, enjoy it. Lake Edge Holiday Units down at Burrell Lake in New South Wales. Majors Garage for the awesome setups that they provide us. One Shot Pest Management at Ulladulla. Track Racer, 8 Rivers Photography, our partner Energy W Drinks. And if Moser comes along, that'll be nice for me. So I'm rigged up with all the gear now. So
Nice.
Awesome. Thank you, and thanks to the league, officials, race control, etc.
Excellent, mate. Well, you definitely wear your heart on the sleeve, mate. Congratulations. I didn't put the Moz on you, and good luck for the final round. And then, before you know it, season 3 will be here knocking on the doors.
Yeah, nice, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.
Next up, we have our race winner here this evening of the Chiefs, James Scott. James, congratulations, another win for yourself. You're under massive pressure there for the last few laps from Blake Warboys. You guys were pumping out quicker and quicker lap times every single time you cross the start-finish line. Talk us through that race there, of the strategy of how the wets were, and then the changeover period, and just trying to defend against Blake to stop him from getting past you at the end of the race.
No, it's not too bad. I haven't done one of those wet to dry races really at all in the V8. I've done one or two in the GT car, but not really in the V8. So I was sort of letting the blind. I had no idea really what was going on. But the car was alright. It was pretty easy to defend, really. Just stay on the dry line, and he couldn't get around. But the car felt a little bit weird. I don't know, in that second stint on the dry tyre on the damp track. It felt a little bit weird, but anyway.
Yeah, your rear end didn't look as settled as Blake's did. He seemed to have the mid pace through the corners and pace out a little bit better, but it wasn't enough. He was getting close, but it wasn't enough to have the pace to overtake. But it was spectacular racing, mate. I think Dodsey said it was almost like watching a Logitech Invitational V8 race. The way you guys were driving out there, my mind blows how close you guys can drive to each other and not hit each other. That's just next level as far as I'm concerned. But I'll tell you what, it looked awesome. You could see that your rear end, and you got the start off really good too.
I did. I don't know. It was really hard to judge, like, on the sim, and this was probably my main worry about rain on sims, but it's really hard to judge how wet the track is, like real life. You sort of just walk out. Is it raining? How heavy is it raining? What's the track like? But it's really hard to judge on the sim.
Yeah.
It looks like it's not raining, but it is sort of, and
Yeah, the tracks take too long to dry, and the dry line isn't really a dry line.
And it's very hard to judge what tyre you're going to put on at the start, because you got literally nothing to go off. in terms of what the track actually looks like. It might look dry, but it's actually not.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
I think iRacing got a way to go yet. Maybe like a some sort of gauge of how wet the track is or something like that. Because you can't see it visually. That would be a massive help. Like say for instance, dry line, 20% wet. You know, something like that. Even that would help. Just so you get some sort of concept of where it's at. The only thing you can really tell that we can tell as broadcasters is the rooster tail. And you can see it diminishing slowly, but I'm not sure how visible that is in the cars. It's not going to be visible for you, mate, because you've got no one in front of you. So, but
yeah, I
Blake
could still see
could
it a little bit.
yeah?
I could see it a little bit out of my rear mirror. It was going down, but that before you've done any laps, like sort of at the start of the race, it's really hard to know.
Yeah.
But no, it's all right. Same for everyone, so I can't complain.
Yeah, well, it was in the end. It was a spectacular race, mate. You guys put an absolute killer of a show. The mid packs was spectacular as well. So it was another great night. Titles going down to the end as well. So that's always a good thing for the viewers and spectators, mate. And before I let you go and yell off the sponsors, are you back to normal driving now, as in feed arrangements, or are you just doing it gingerly?
Nah, we'll be ginger for a little bit. But yeah, no, we're all right. Nothing, a bit of pain doesn't hurt.
A bit of gritting and bearing it, yeah?
Yeah, a bit of concrete and hardening up.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, no, thanks to obviously all the sponsors each and every week. Aussie Broadband, Logitech G in Westfield, Chiefs. Yeah, awesome. They've had a few good results outside of the sim lately, so well done to all those guys on other esports platforms. Good.
Excellent, mate. All right, well, congratulations, dude. It's going to come down to the wire. I hope you're enjoying it and still having fun, and we'll see you next week, dude.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, good fun.
Take care, mate.
See you, mate.
Hamish.
Sinker. One to go. How quickly it goes by, isn't it?
Yep, it does. 1 week to go.
1 week, and we get to a championship decider of the ages at Donington Park. It's going to be incredible.
It'll be. I'll be able to do Tuesday and Sunday. So I'll be able to do the V8s next week, but I won't be able to do 86s and the Formula Super Lights, which is a bugger. But I'm sure they're going to be spectacular races either way. Maybe even better without me.
I've had confirmation that Cowie will be in there with me for the last SFL round of the season at Phillip Island.
Right.
So.
Yep.
That's going to be.
I'm sure there'll be a little bit of choking going on in there. A bit of.
Possibly. Who knows? But nah, couldn't ask for a better way to end it. Other than it being like a special event or something. But no, it's been a pleasure this season. We've still got we've still got a couple of races to go for season 2. Yeah. Tomorrow night, Sandown for the SFLs. Thursday, Alton Park for the GR86s. Sunday, we're back here at Sebring to crown our next Sunday night champion as well. And then next week is the final round 9 of season 2, with Donington Park for the Supercars, Phillip Island for the Super Formula Lights, and then the Toyota GR86s head out to Circuit Zolder. So it's going to be a big night of racing across multiple nights for the rest of this season. So much more to come your way. As we said earlier in the show, as well as it was announced, Autodromo Internacional Algarve Portimao will be the track for the Moser Racing Australian Open Wheel Nationals. So the announcement of the dates, was it in that video, Sinker? I don't know. I didn't listen to it, to be honest with you.
It is the 2nd of July, so Wednesday after our season finishes.
Okay. So the 2nd of July, 2 weeks from tomorrow, will be the 4th instalment of the Australian Open Wheel Nationals. And then the next one after that will be the 1 year anniversary of the race. And then it'll be the 5th instalment of that one as well. Big shout out, though, needs to go to all our series sponsors. Warren & Brown Tools has been a long time title sponsor of the V8 Supercars series and the V8 Supercars Championship on Tuesday and Sunday nights. Moser Racing, who's come on board as a massive supporter of the series this year, the title sponsor of the SFL Championship and the Australian Open Wheel Nationals. As well as our other series sponsors, Shunt Scenery, Grim Industries, long-time supporter of the series as well. It's home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews, and other studio segments. and as well as Phoenix Driver Development. You guys can message PDD on Facebook or Laz and Rehan Leonage on Discord. Get you guys set up with either some training sessions or some setups as well. They specialise in the supercars and do it all from the 2009 Ford Falcon all the way up to the Gen 3 supercars of the Camaro and the Mustang as well. But from myself, Hamish Munro and Steve Sinkovic alongside, we appreciate your time, appreciate your effort being here with us once again. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here in SRW. But until next time, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostert and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble, bottle.